All right, sorry about that, guys. Can you guys hear me now? I didn't realize I was on mute. I forgot I had to reboot my computer earlier. Okay, my bad. I'm back. Shout out to D-Style. D-Style, thank you for getting my attention. Let me know I was on mute. Thank you for getting my attention, D-Style. Let me know I was on mute. Shout out to D-Style dropping that $2 super chat, letting me know that I was on mute. I appreciate that, fam. Somebody else dropped the super chat as well. Y'all missed what I was saying. I was just snapping going off on the haters. So I don't want to have to re-say it again. Shout out to Jackie Hernandez. Dropping that quarter over. Bam, dub on your boy. Salute to Jackie Hernandez for the support. I appreciate that. Everybody that's here, let's give everybody a round of applause. What I was saying was, what I was saying was I didn't realize I was on mute. We're going to have a good show today. Coach Malachi Williams is in the building. We have the hottest boxing afternoon podcast on the YTBC, hands down. A lot of the haters, they don't like it, but there ain't shit they can do about it. They're gonna be right here watching today. Doesn't make me know, never mind. I dropped my phone number on Twitter today. Anybody that got a problem with Coach Malachi Williams, please call me. You can call me after the show or before the show or during the show at 530-494-9636. Anybody, I don't give a damn who it is. You don't like me, you feeling some type of way, nigga, call. Let it be known. I will answer that phone. I can promise you that. And I will be at the Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko fight as well. I will be there. So I'm readily accessible. Now, what I was saying was we're gonna have a good show today. Salute to everybody in the chat. Let's give everybody a round of applause. It feels so good that now that I don't got off the weed, I'm kind of like myself. This is who I am. I have I have no patience. Kind of like a temperamental guy. And I'm with the shits. Anyway, so we have Timothy Bradley. I'm going to be calling him in a minute. Before I call him, I want to sit back and say shout out to Yarmis, man. Salute to Yarmis, man. Shout out to Jamie Rivera. Shout out to Tommy Gunn. Shout out to my sister Bless 365. It's always happy to see my sister Bless. Always happy, to see the tenderonis. We are a tenderoni support channel. We love the tenders. I saw what T.O. said. We got a whole lot to unpack today. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Green Eyes P. My sister Lisa Bales, the lovely Lisa Bales, man. I got a lot of love for my sister Lisa, man. It is what it is. Let's get into the show. Now, Timothy Bradley, this is an exclusive. We will be giving him a call in a minute. He's going to talk. This is what we're going to talk about. We're gonna, the truth about Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and Devin Haney. I have some good questions right here that I'm going to ask him. I will not be accepting calls while I'm on the phone with Timothy Bradley. So do anybody try to call this show, you would get ignored. I would not answer the phone because I'm calling him on the phone and it's going to be a phone interview. So when I get off the phone, then that's when I will, yada, yada, yada. But I have 24 questions to ask him myself. His time is very precious, so he won't be able to be on the phone for long. Another thing, too, when I have guests on the show, like a Rick Glazier or C. Kim who call or whoever on the show, you have to understand that a lot of these guys are very busy. And if they take their time out to come on the show, I have to take their time into consideration. I know when I have someone on here, I know how much time that's allocated to me for them to be on the show. So, I can't keep these guys 2-3 hours. So I have to hit my points, what I'm going to say, and then go from there. You know what I mean? And that's how that works. So I always try to take other people's time into consideration, especially since I don't pay them to come on the show. So when people freely give their time, and the most precious thing that you have in your life is your time, you know what I mean? Because you can't get time back. Then, you can see, if you waste your time, you can never get it back. You get what I'm saying? You can always get money back if you waste money. You can always make that back up, but you can never make that time back. So people who take the time out to come on the show, I give them the respect, and I know the time that I'm allocated. And when they come, I appreciate it. And then when I have to let them go, I have to let them go. That's just the reality of the situation. Now, Timothy Bradley clarifies Gervonta Davis's criticism, the criticism that he had of Tank, and Tank said some stuff about him as well, for being a woman beater in exclusive interview, right? And I think he said Tank was a horrible person as well. Yada 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 yada. Blah. Squaze. So he's gonna break all that down. We're gonna talk about the lightweight division. We're gonna talk about the politics that's in the sport of boxing. What's going on with Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, what's going on with the different promotional companies, the size of the street, all that stuff there. It is what it is. So that we're going to talk about all of that. The Lomachenko, we're going to talk about all of that. We might not talk about everything everyone wants to talk about because I got to take my son to karate today. So I'm not going to be on this live 4 or 5 hours, 3 hours. We're going to be on this live about 2.5 hours, and then it's a wrap. Let's get the lights up, and let's do this. Let's see. We got a couple of super chats that I missed. Let's see. Hold on. I think I missed a yellow super chat. I think somebody D-Style sent that. Jackie Hernandez sent that. Okay, so I got Jackie. I have D-Style. Jackie D-Style. Who else I miss? Okay, shout out to Solo Dolo.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that. Bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Solo Dolo say, just do you, bro. He say, cook and keep cooking. That's, hey, guess what? I don't know how to do anything else but be me. I don't know how to be nobody else. You get what I'm saying? You know, we offend them, run them off the block, and that's it. People say, man, coach, since you've been off the weed, man, you seem like you very short, no, short tempered and this and that, and kind of. I like, nah, this is who I am. I told you guys, I smoke weed in order to keep me level. When I don't smoke, this is what I am, and I'm done with smoking weed. So it is what it is. This is what it's gonna be from this point forward. Now, I heard that what the dude named Keith Idick, he said that he heard that Tank and Ryan Garcia fight did 1.2 million pay-per-view buys worldwide. Now, if that was the case, Steven Espinosa, because I have an article right here that Steven Espinosa dropped in 2014. If that was the case, then Showtime should be putting those numbers out shortly. Because Steven Espinosa said that in 2014, they stopped releasing pay-per-view numbers because fans was too worried about pay-per-view numbers, and it took away from the fight, the event itself. So that's when they stopped. That's Showtime ever put out any pay-per-view numbers since 2014, right? So he said that if we were to put numbers out, it would have to be, something that was a huge success, like 1 million pay-per-view buys or more. So if that is the case, then we should be hearing that. If we don't hear nothing from Steven Espinosa, if they don't come out and say, yeah, man, this what we did, and Booger Ray Leonard don't come out and say this what we did, guess what? I don't believe that. Why? Because I'm holding them to what they said. He said that if they and guess what? Forget what I say. I'm gonna show you. I have the article right here.
True.
I have the article right here. I'm gonna show you. But anyway, it go. It's a good thing. It's a good thing what's going on in boxing. Let me give. Hold on. Somebody sent the cash app. Shout out to Keon. Shout out to Keon.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that half for bam, hundo on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He say for the great stuff. He say thank you, coach. Oh, this is on Swift 718. Shout out to you, fam. Thank you for dropping that half on hundo, man. I really appreciate that. It is what it is. Shout out to my sister Lisa Bells. Marlon Warren, what's going on, my brother? You say you can't believe everything you hear? Yeah, because it is what it is. It is what it is. Shout out to Ben G. Shout out to Kino, Knockdown 305. My brother Dade County's finest. Let's get the likes up. We got 300 people in here and less than 100 likes. So whoever the hating ass niggas that could be watching this show, you guys know how I feel about the haters. It is what it is. But before we start this show, let's give all praises due to the Almighty Al Heyman.
Well, I guess I gotta be like everybody else and sing Al Heyman. I can quit my job now, baby. 6 figures, baby. You feel me? I'm about to.
But a name. Do you have a name?
Oh, nah, I ain't got no name.
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. The names need to be named.
They know who they is.
The Mexican monster.
Jay Pond say, "Why did you stop smoking weed? If you don't mind me asking." I just got tired. I just gave it up. I just said the hell with it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Black Bezos.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that quarter over. Bam, dub on your boy. Cash out.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, I like this Benavidez versus Morrell spicy talk. Okay, cool. Benavidez versus Morrell. Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about him today, but yeah, I got you, fam. I got you. Yeah, because I want to see that fight too. We're gonna find out what both of these guys are made of. We're gonna find out what both of these guys are made of. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Shout out to Letitia. I will be dropping the number, but while I'm doing this interview, I'm not. So let me call Timothy Bradley right quick. Let me call my brother. Timothy Bradley right quick. Anybody feeling some type of way about Timothy Bradley? That's not my issues. Your issues are not my issues. Anybody feeling some type of way about me? Not the family in the chat, but the people who may feel some type of way. YouTube channels. My number is 530-494-9636. You niggas can call me. Internet gangsters who got shooters, whatever the case may be. My number is 530-494-9636. You niggas can call me before the show, after the show, or when I finish the interview, and whatever you got to say, get that shit off your chest, nigga. But let me call Timothy Bradley. Hey Tim, man, I'm finna get ready to put you on the show, man. Can you talk now?
Yeah, I'm ready, man.
Okay, yes, sir. Right now, guys, we have the legendary Hall of Famer, Timothy Bradley on the phone. Tim, thank you so much for taking the time out. Let's give our brother a round of applause.
My man, what's going on, coach?
Man, Tim, I really appreciate, brother, you taking the time out, man. I know you're a very, very busy man. I have some really good questions for you. You're gonna love these questions, I promise you.
Hey, I'll do my best to answer them, baby.
All right,
but I appreciate you on the show, man. I appreciate you allowing me to come on the show.
Yeah, man. I want to let you guys know. Tim don't know what I'm going to ask him, so he hasn't been prepped or anything. You know what I mean? So I just want to let you guys know that. Tim, for those who don't know, let everybody know, how did you get in boxing? Like, how you first got started?
I got started. I wanted to fight. It was sixth grade. Around sixth grade, I was 10 and a half. Put it that way. My friend was doing it at the time. We used to always play like boys do, slap boxing. He was like, "Man, you got some fast hands, man. You should come down to the boxing gym." Begged my dad for about 2 months to take me down there. My dad kept telling me, "I don't want to get punched in the face. You know, you're a pretty boy. You don't want to get hit in the face." So on and so forth. And finally, my dad actually worked right across the street. So my dad was a sky cat for many years at the airport. And right across the street was a boxing gym. One day, my mom and we picked him up from work. And he was just like, "You want to go over to this boxing gym?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Only on one condition." I said, "Well, what?" He said, "If you like it, you can't quit." I said, "All right, no problem. Let's go." Went down there, man, and the rest is history, man.
Oh, man, I didn't even know that. You boxed for 12 years. You boxed for about 12, 13 years, right?
No, I boxed 23 years altogether with the amateurs. So I did about 10 years of amateurs, and I did about 13 years of professional.
13 years as a pro. Okay, so you boxed about 13 years. 2-division world champion?
2-division, 5-time world champion. I unified titles twice at 140.
Okay, and now you're a retired Hall of Famer. We know you work for ESPN and stuff like that. You fought. I looked at your resume. You fought the likes of Joel Casamayor. I remember that fight. Devin Alexander. I think you gave Devin Alexander this one. He was that guy. I think you gave him his first loss. You gave him his first loss. You fought Lamar Peterson. You fought Manny Pacquiao 3 times. I remember you fought Provodnikov. Yeah, Provodnikov. I remember you fought
Miguel Vasquez.
Yeah, Miguel Vasquez. I remember you fought Juan Manuel Marquez, Diego Chavez, Jesse Vargas, Brandon Rios. The question I have is, out of all of those guys you fought, and you fought some great ones, how come you and Floyd Mayweather never fought each other?
Check this out, man. I actually got a call. It was right before the third fight with Manny Pacquiao. And I was in negotiations, and Floyd people called me up, and they were like, "Hey, Floyd want to fight. Let's do it. You get paid $8 million, so on and so forth." And just letting you know, in the past, I've been promised the world. I was supposed to fight Floyd Mayweather right before I fought against Kendall Hall. So right after that, I was supposed to fight Floyd Mayweather then. And it never materialized. It never happened. My promoter, he promised me that I was going to fight Mayweather. "You're going to be happy after this fight. Mayweather's next." And I was like, "Okay, I'm going to make sure I win." That didn't happen. So, I've had different promoters and different guys, managers and so on and so forth, tell me that I'm going to get something and it doesn't materialize. If it's not on paper it doesn't happen.
Right.
And sometimes it can be on paper and it still doesn't happen, but when they called me up, it was like I was writing negotiations with Pac, and I was just like, okay, if he wants to fight me, no problem. All right, I won't sign with Top Rank, but if you put $4 million in my account, because that's what I was made for Pacquiao 3. I made $4.5 million for Pacquiao 3. And I said, put that in my account, wire it. I sent them the wire number, so on and so forth. And they never did. They never did. I said, well, you put your money where your mouth is, then you let me know that you for real. So if the Mayweather fight is really on the table for me, give me $4 million, pay me $4 million a night of the fight, and we all gravy. Everything is all copacetic. But I wasn't going to pass up and be just like Amir Khan. Amir Khan thought he was going to fight Floyd Mayweather, and what happened? He didn't end up fighting him. Andre Berto ended up fighting him. So I didn't want to be stuck in that situation and taking food off my kids' table, guaranteed money right out the gate. So I just made a business decision to say, you know what, I'm just going to re-up with Top Rank since it's not going to happen. And I know Top Rank. I've been with them for many years. I respect them. They the ones that pretty much made me rich. But I did somewhat. Some people will say, you had an opportunity and you didn't take it. Well, I probably did. And I'm okay with that. I probably did. And I'm okay with that because, money speaks louder than words.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying that if the Floyd side was serious, they would have put the money, they would have sent the money in escrow or wired you the money? They would have wired me the money, $4 million, and then I would have probably jumped ship, no doubt about it. $8 million, no doubt about it. I probably would have done it. No doubt about it. Is that normally how it works with fighters? When you get ready to fight someone, because fans want to know what that process is like. A contract is presented. You hear that a fighter wants to fight another fighter. What is the process? Example, like okay, we just saw. Okay, damn. We have Devin Haney fixing to fight Vicente Lomachenko. They're on the same side of the street, so maybe that's a little different. But what's the process? Hey, my name's Devin Haney. Hey, my name's Vicente Lomachenko. I want to fight too. I want to fight too. Walk us through the process of that. How is that made from a financial standpoint when it comes to the money? We agree on everything. So each fighter has a guarantee in their contract with the promoter. So it always starts at the guarantee. And then it starts of who is the draw, and that's the reason why, like when you would see Pacquiao Bradley, you would see Pacquiao at the top because he was the draw. So the top name, just know when you see the top name on the billboards or the posters, that's the draw. That's the A side. That lets you know right out the gate. That's the A side. So, you got to see how the split's going to go. One, the network, where network is going to go on. How much money the network's willing to put up. That's important. Sometimes I would say back in the days when I was doing it, it was like almost like 3.5 million with HBO. They will put up that type of funds to be able to pay the fighters and pay the event and so on and so forth. So, and then that money needs to be split. So of course the promoter's going to do his best to try to give you as less as that as possible, maybe get you around your minimum or a little bit more than your minimum. Depending on who you're fighting, you got to understand that, depending on who you're fighting. So let's say if I was fighting, Tank, for instance. Tank obviously is the draw. He's going to be the A side of things. Okay. Let's say my minimum was $3 million. But then I come in and I say, well, my minimum is $3 million, but this is Tank we're talking about. This is pay-per-view, so on and so forth. So then I'll say, all right, well, give me a $6 million guarantee. Or a $10 million guarantee, depending on where I'm at in my career. You got to understand that. Depending on where I'm at, am I the champion? Am I not the champion? That matters. Okay. So then they'll come back and they'll counter it and say, no, $8 million. We'll give you $8 million guarantee. And then we'll give you something on the upside. And I'm like, okay, well, what you going to give me on the upside? Typically, when you're on the upside, it's like $5. They'll give you $5 per home, certain amount of pay-per-view buys. So this weekend did what? 1.2 million, I heard? That's crazy. Where did you hear that from? I read it on a site. So I see 600, I see 800, I see $1.2 million. My buddy just sent it to me. Okay. I think it was on Bleacher Report. Okay. If I'm not mistaken. If it did $1.2 million, that is crazy. That is crazy numbers at $80-something a pop.
That's crazy money at the end of the day. So this is how it works. With the upside, understand this. They know how much money, they know how, like the networks know how many sales they're going to get. They know how many pre-sales. They understand the demographic that watches you fight. They understand the people that regulate and look at fights on a regular, like they understand that. So most of the time they'll come in, a promoter will come in and he'll be a little above what you're going to actually sell. So they'll say, okay, well, over 600,000 or over 800,000, you'll get $5 per home. After that, and you go, okay, deal. So you'll get your $6 million. Say I'll get my $8 million or whatever. But any upside after that, if it doesn't hit that 600,000, over that 600,000, I don't get any money.
Okay.
I don't get any money at all. Are you following me?
I understand.
Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
So, for me in my career, I was more about the guaranteed money. That's what I was about. I was always about the guaranteed money because I knew the promoter knew exactly what the number was going to be or what they were going to get close to. So then they will lowball me on the number, and I won't get any upside at all. So I would just make sure I get a good guarantee that I was reasonable, that I accepted, and that was reasonable in my opinion.
I get exactly what you're saying because but basically what you're saying is if you just trust the promoter can they may say, like you just said, we got to do at least 600,000 or more in order for you to get what they would like to call back end, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, back end money. Yep.
So the fight can sell, it can do 800-900, but the promoter can say, well, it only did 500,000 or 550,000. You don't get anything. They can lie. So how do you go about making sure that doesn't happen? Do you audit the books, or how do you go about doing that?
Well, that's the difficult part about it. The number comes out, the promoter or your manager knows the number. He gets told by the promoter what the number is. The promoter works with the networks, and the networks tell you what that number is or what it's done. That's just basically it. You can get an email. You can get, you can get the email from the network. You have that ability to get it, but your manager is going to get it from the promoter. At the end of the day, whether they're lying or not, you know what I'm saying? You have no clue. You literally have zero clue. And like, you got to understand that, like the money, the back end money, it comes in sporadically. It doesn't come in all at once. Like when you're fighting, and let's say like a network, Direct TV, right? And people have Direct TV and they order the fight. Then you have Dish, and then you have all these other, Comcast and such. Like, you're getting checks. You're waiting for all that money to come in from the pay-per-view, and then you will slowly start getting checks. Sometimes it's 6 months at a time. Sometimes, sometimes it's a year. You'll be getting money, receiving money from a year ago from pay-per-view sales, from a fight that happened a few years ago, or a year ago. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it takes time for you to accumulate or acquire that money, man. It just doesn't come all at once. So these guys this weekend, they guaranteed 8 figures. All right. So after the pay-per-view, let's say the pay-per-view hit $1.2 million. I don't have a calculator right now. I can't do the math for 85. What happens with that is that it gets split in half. The promoter gets about, I would say 50%, sometimes 51%, depending on the deal. And then you have the networks that get the rest of the 50%. Understand that. 50% of that cash gets split in half. It goes to the networks, and then it goes to the promoter. Okay, the rest goes to the promoter. Promoter pays the fighter. Okay, whatever his guaranteed is, whatever it's after that, then the promoter keeps. And at the gate also, same thing. The promoter can keep the gate as well. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on how your contract is worked out at the end of the day. I remember fighting Pacquiao, and Pacquiao got gate money. He got back end money all the way across the board. Sales, ticket sales, and all. Pacquiao had to buy $1 million worth of seats. He had to buy $1 million worth of seats. Understand that. That's how that works. So a lot of times, you see these packed houses. Well, a lot of those tickets are given away. A lot of those tickets are given away, man. Because you, the promoter, you the fighter, You have to. It's almost like if you're going to be part of the promotion, guess what? You gotta be part of the promotion. You gotta put up some funds. You gotta put up some money. So hey, $1 million worth of tickets, whatever you do with it, that's on your business. But you got $1 million worth of tickets that you gotta distribute out. You know, and that's just it. And that's how you're able to pack the house.
What was it like? What was it like fighting Juan Manuel Marquez and Manny Pacquiao?
Well, Marquez was tough because I would say he was the second best counterpuncher in the game. Mm-hmm. So when I fought him, it was more just it was like counter to counter. I knew that. I just followed Floyd's blueprint. I watched the fight several times. I said, "Oh, I can do that. I can move. You know, keep my feet moving, keeping them off balance." And I recognized that Marquez, he had to be set to punch. You know, he didn't like to do anything, you know, off the cuff if he didn't feel comfortable, if he wasn't well balanced. And so I'm like, okay, I can run on him. Boom. I could stick him, stab him, move. Stab him, move. He'll try to counter. Boom. And then when I make him miss, and I'll make him pay. I'm a lot quicker. I'm a lot quicker on my feet. It was actually easy. I would say it was probably the easiest paycheck that I ever got. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was easy. He can punch. I know that. He can punch. He hit me with 2 uppercuts in the first round. And dang, I felt it. And I was just like, he ain't gonna hit me with those ever again. You know, this entire fight. And he never did land it. But fighting Pacquiao he's just a phenomenal athlete. You know, like I thought I was athletic. No, that dude was special, like special athletic. Like, you know, like LaDainian Thompson, like type special, like no joke. You know what I'm saying? Crazy skill and ability. And I just felt like when I would fight guys, most of the time, I was able to outwill them, and I was able to outcondition them. Mm-hmm. My skill set was more in that department. Yes, I can counter punch. Yes, I have the nice flip counter. I can be aggressive. I was real strategic. You know, I would study film and understand what the fighter didn't like, and I would throw it in his face all night. I had that ability to adapt and to change the course because I could do a little bit of everything. There wasn't like one thing that I was special in. It was like I could do a little bit of everything, and if I do a little bit of everything, then you know what? That's appealing to the judges. Not only that, I can change my game up and I can confuse my opponent. So, you know, Pacquiao was just an animal, man. Like, I'm not going to lie. He was an animal, bro. And that's why I respect him so much, because most of the guys like Devin, I knew he wasn't strong enough for me. I knew I had to pressure him. I knew that if I pressured him, I was going to beat him. And it was easy. A guy like Kendall Hall, I knew pressure. I was like, this dude, I'm going to take it to him. He ain't got no heart. You know what I'm saying? He can't stay at my pace. But with Pac, you could try to take it to him. You gonna get hit. He can punch. He's fast. He punches at odd angles. Yeah. He's conditioned. He has experience. You know. And he knows when to buy his time. Like, this dude understands how to control the energy inside the ring, man. And what I mean by that is like he knows when you're tiring. He knows when your technique starts to fade. He can feel it. You know what I'm saying? And then he turns it up. So it might seem like he's letting off the gas a bit and letting you punch. Oh, yeah, he's setting you up. He's letting you punch, letting you wear yourself down a bit, and then he explodes because he's like, okay, I took your best, now can you take mine? So great fighter, man. Great fighter. I think both those guys were terrific fighters. I would say Pac was probably my hardest opponent. Okay. And my kryptonite, no doubt about it.
So just to pivot a little bit, back to Floyd Mayweather. Floyd coined the phrase, we believe in working smarter, not harder. What does that phrase mean to you?
working smarter, not harder. Yeah. I mean, when you get into a certain age, you get to a certain status. I think what Floyd meant by that is just business wise, working smarter, not harder. So Floyd, what he did was he avoided the middleman. So when Floyd left Top Rank, what he did was, he formulated his own promotional company. He got with, Al Heyman, so on and so forth. And this was like well before PBC got established. So this was like Floyd era. And he had a quote unquote manager / advisor. And Floyd at the time, I believe early on, I think it was Golden Boy he was using at the time.
Yeah, Golden Boy was promoting the fight.
Yeah. So what Floyd did was Golden Boy was quote unquote promoting the fight, but Floyd was the promoter. So he used their platform and their network that Golden Boy was using, but Floyd got all the cheese. He got all the money.
Mm-hmm.
He would just give money for the card so everybody can, fight. He'll pay for the card like a promoter. He'll pay for his opponent and so on and so forth. So that way he can get 50% at the end of the night. He can get 50% of the revenue on pay-per-view. So that's the reason why Floyd was able to make so much money, 80 million, 100 million, because he was a promoter.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a fighter and you can be a promoter. You can't be a manager and a promoter, but you can be an advisor and be a promoter. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that, yeah.
So that's the thing.
That,
So that's the thing. So that's the thing with Heyman, smart. It's just smart business. And Floyd paid his dues to be in the position that he was in. And when you get to that position and you have all the leverage, then you're able to basically set up your next 10 fights if you want to. You can pay the guys whatever you want. You have total control over the game. So that's what I think. That's what he means by it.
So just to pivot, and I want you to let people know this because you've been in the game. You've been in the game for a while. What? Let people know what's the difference between Pretty Boy Floyd and Money Mayweather. Because I remember,
Pretty Boy Floyd.
I remember when he fought. If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong. He became Pretty Boy Floyd after he beat Oscar De La Hoya. That's when he made the transition.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the difference?
Yeah,
between the two?
but understand. But let's go back to that fight. You got to understand what Floyd did then. Floyd, when he fought De La Hoya, he accepted all the terms.
Right.
Similar to what Garcia did. The same similar thing. I mean, he let him choose everything. Ring size, you name it. He just wanted the opportunity, and he knew once he beat this man that he was going to be the man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so going back to Pretty Boy was violent. He was no joke. He was offensive minded. And when he was healthy and he had healthy hands, he was aggressive. He was a knockout artist, man. He was literally a knockout artist. Like if you go and you look at his first 18, 19 fights, man, I believe he had like 17, 16 KOs. Like he had a high KO percentage. Man. So, but he was aggressive. I would say he wasn't the businessman that he was when he became Money Mayweather. When he made that change, man, and he became, quote unquote, the face of boxing. I've been hearing this term for a while now, man, for the last week. Yeah. The new face of boxing. No, Floyd became then the face of boxing. He beat a Hall of Fame guy. He beat the Golden Boy. You know what I'm saying? You understand that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And several other guys. I mean, top guys. Early on, he fought top opposition after top opposition. When he became Pretty Boy, he was a little bit more selective, and that's fine. His legacy was already cemented early on. Trust me. His legacy was cemented early on. He fought killers, man. Freddie, Gennaro Hernandez. I mean, the list, Chico Corrales. Floyd was dominating all these guys.
That was with Top Rank. That was with Bob Arum.
And that was with Bob Arum. Yeah. But when he became his own businessman and became Money, now it was more about, okay, all right, I'm here, I'm at the top, now I'm gonna be strategic with this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get played. I'm gonna play the game.
So, me and my friends, we go back and forth on this. Floyd Mayweather, his 50th fight was against Conor McGregor, right? And he called himself TBE, and I get it. I have a marketing background, so I do get the way Floyd marketed himself. What I try to tell a lot of these young guys when they say they're trying to follow the Floyd Mayweather blueprint, I'm like, dude, that was lightning in a bottle. Floyd Mayweather was at the Source Awards. He was at he was on Dancing with the Stars. He was with WWE. He did so many different things. At that time in the beginning of when social media was taking off. Me personally, I don't think that can be replicated again because I think that just happened at the right time. But his 50th fight was against a guy who never had a professional boxing match before by the name of Conor McGregor. Now, I always say Floyd is 49-0. I'm not counting Conor McGregor. How in the hell did that fight, a guy who never had a boxing match before, get sanctioned for a real live boxing match? And this is on Floyd's record as 50-0, which he broke Rocky Marciano's record. What you got to say about that?
It was genius. I mean, what am I supposed to say? me being a sports guy, me being in the business, I think it's bullshit. But at the same time, it's like it's genius because you're fighting Conor McGregor, you're getting a cross promotion with the MMA and with the MMA and so on. It's like it was a no brainer. And Conor McGregor was the one that called him out. Conor McGregor is the one that wanted him.
Yeah.
So he made it happen for his 50th fight. And the green, man, that green. And I'm not talking about the one you smoke. I'm talking about the one that goes in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? The one you spin. That green, it talks. This business is this business. If you haven't put it together, man, just like any other business, just like NBA and NFL and all of it, it's about the bread, man. It's about money. That's what it's about at the end of the day. It's money first, and then it's about the sport. It really is. Every business. And I say that because why do you think all the athletes in basketball and football, they get reprimanded for behaving a certain way? Mm-hmm. Well, you're messing with our money, man. You're messing with our money. We need people to buy your jerseys. We need people to, we need people to come and see you play. You can't be messing up the money. So you know what? We're going to slap you on the wrist. 2-game suspension. We're going to, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it's all about. And boxing has always been this way, man. It's always been about the bread. So Floyd, for instance, you talking about the Conor McGregor thing? Mm-hmm. It did the second biggest number in boxing history and combat history,
right?
As far as the pay-per-view goes.
You're right, yeah.
I mean, it was a smart move. It was whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Did I like it at the time? No, I didn't like it at the time. I still think it's bogus. At the end of the day, let's keep it 100. It's bogus. But dude, that $300 million he got,
that 300 mil ain't bogus.
That's for real. That's for real. So you can look at it you can look at it from two ways, man. And that's what I tend to do, man. I try to look at things two different ways. So I say a lot. I do say a lot, but I look at it from different points of view, and so, but me being a fighter, I'm like, man, how the hell he get in the ring with Conor McGregor, or Conor McGregor getting in the ring with Floyd, and I didn't get a chance to share the ring with him. So, hey, whether you say it's my fault or not, I don't give a damn.
Tank Davis, when you got elected to the Hall of Fame, Tank Davis criticized your resume. Said that you was an ass fighter or whatever the case may be when you got elected. The question that I have is, why do you feel that Tank Davis criticized your resume when I look at Tank Davis's resume in comparison, it doesn't even measure up? What was that all about?
I don't know. Maybe he don't like my style. Mm-hmm. Maybe he just don't like me. I talk a lot. I'm fearless with my approach. I speak my mind. And I've said some things about him in the past. I've criticized his resume, said he keeps fighting cab drivers and guys, and really not really testing himself against the best. Mayweather Promotions, PBC, they did a great job. They've done a fantastic job promoting him. Like, this dude sells out everywhere. Anywhere he goes, he sells out. They've done a good job with him. But it comes a time where you saying you're the best, but you're not willing to step foot in the ring against the very best. That's the problem that I have, at the end of the day. So to answer your question about, what Tank has on me, I think that's what it stems from. It stems from that, my comments about him in the past. Mm-hmm. And he just felt like, his career was nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't nobody. He ain't nobody. He wasn't a draw. He wasn't this. And there's a difference between guys. There's a difference in ladies. There's a difference between being a draw and also being a Hall of Fame fighter. You can be the draw, but that doesn't mean that doesn't accumulate in a fashion to where you're going to be a Hall of Fame fighter if you're not facing the top competition out there. And this is a start. I mean, for Tank with Garcia, Garcia was an undefeated guy. I said going into the fight, it was a bit too premature for him. I said at the very beginning, my thoughts at the very beginning were spot on. Garcia is not ready for Tank. I know what I see. He's a great talent. You know, he has the speed. He has the nuances to go along with the game. You know, this guy is a killer in the ring. He really is, man. Power. You could tell he can box really high ring IQ with footwork. You know, he's a lot better defensively sound than a lot of people give him credit for. You know, got some mental toughness to go along with him. I saw that in Tank when he fought against Cruz. You know, things wasn't going his way, and he still was able to figure out a way. And that's when you know you got a real. When things ain't going your way, he's injured. He injured one of his hands, and then he resorted to boxing, and he started moving. I'm like, oh snaps! I didn't know he had that in him. I didn't know he can move on angles like that and stop on a dime and pop shots and move and continue to box. And then I didn't know he was able to take punches like that. He got hit on the chin. You know, he felt it and was able to tie up and do what he needs to do and survive. I was like, man, this dude is a real fighter. You know, but he hasn't fought the very best in the sport yet. So will he now? Will he now? We gonna see.
Yeah, because the thing is, when I ran across I remember you did the Fight Hub interview. You said that you said that Tank Davis was a horrible person, and you thought he was a piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
And what was that based on? That comment there.
Man, if you get online and check out how many altercations or his, incidents that this young man has been in. All right. And the last one on the straw was, I remember the girl at the basketball game. I remember that. I remember the girl at the basketball game that he had roughed up, man. That pissed me off. Mm-hmm. You know, I got two sisters, a mother, you know, I have 3 daughters. And I'm not about that, man. I'm not about roughing up no woman, period. You know? And I saw that. And then, you know, the car accident where he fled the scene. I'm like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean he fled the scene? He left people in a car, innocent people in the car. He ran into them now. That was basically up in smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that says something about your character. That says something about you as a person, bro, to do that. You know, you being who you are. Tank Davis, you know, the new face of boxing, as you say. Mm-hmm. Like, that bothers me, man. And then the whole 911 call and you know, the girl screaming on the phone. And I understand she probably retract her words or whatever. The dude had a fight coming up recent, you know, a recent fight that was coming up in a week or so. Of course she's going to retract her words. She ain't stupid, you know, and going through. And I heard the whole call, bro. That bothers me, man. So at the end of the day, my judgment is based on his actions. It's not based on my feelings. It's based on his actions. I can like him as a fighter, but as a person, I think he's a piece of shit. I really do. And it might rub people the wrong way, but that's my opinion. And at least I say it. I'm not one of the ones that run around and say it behind your back and won't tell you. I'll tell it to his face. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the type of dude that I am. That's how I'm raised. And you know who made me the way this is?
Oh.
The fans listening. The media.
Yeah.
The media, the fans, y'all made me who I am today. Like, when I went through what I went through in 2012, dog, with Manny Pacquiao, with the whole controversial decision, dog, like,
I remember
man,
that.
it hardened me so much. I heard everything. I had death threats.
Yeah, I remember that.
My kids was going to school, was getting laughed at. Like, bro, it was a hard time for me in my life. But, you know, when it's hard like that, either two things can happen. Either I can curl up and quit, you know, kill myself, or do something stupid, or I could just say, all right, I see what it is. And once the light clears, you know, I know what it's all about. I come back with vengeance. So this personality that I have now, because the people spoke and said what they wanted to say about me, called me every name in the book,
yeah, I remember
fighters included.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm like, oh, so this is free. This is a free world, right?
Yeah.
Amendment. I'm in First Amendment. Oh, we could talk. We could say whatever oh, yeah. Oh, no, I get it. I got an opinion too, you know, just like everybody else. So I'm very opinionated now because of what I went through. I wasn't like that before. And then on top of that, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn rat's ass who likes me or not. You saw me the last week come on the show. I said, man, keep your name in my mouth because I like it. Because when you're talking about me, that means I'm doing something.
Right.
Because when you're not talking about me, I'm not doing anything. Doing anything right. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I feel.
I didn't know that was you. I thought you was a troll because basically the way you are is the way I am. I'm very outspoken. I'm gonna say what's on my mind. When I came on YouTube, I was cool. I was chill. Then I started getting all these death threats and dudes started calling me coon all the time, sell out, this and that. And now I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I say what's on my mind. I don't give a fuck what I don't want you to say nothing, but I don't give a fuck what a nigga got to say. I don't give a damn. It is what it is. I'm gonna be at the fights. I got the phone number 530-494-9636. Anybody want to call that number? Feel something? That's how I am. And that's how it is. But let me get these super chats out the way right quick. Shout out to Will. He said, Desert Storm, Timothy Bradley. Much love, Tim. Salute to Will. I got a couple of more. Tim, because we got some good questions, man. We're really getting into it now. Shout out to Boxing Gyms. He said, what up, Champ? He said, what up, Coach? He said, Champ, what's good, bro? Boxing Gyms for the $20 super chat. He just said, what's up? Shout out to Bless 360.
That's my guy right there.
Oh, Boxing Gyms. Yeah.
That's
Boxing,
my guy, man. Ryan, what up?
Yeah, he know it's boxing. Boxing Gyms know it's boxing. And shout out to Bless 365. She said, what do you say about people who say you just hating Tim? So, you got people who love Tank Davis and people who are pro PBC. They say, those are guys probably really don't like you. They say that you're a hater and stuff like that. So what say you about that? Or have you already answered that by saying you don't give a damn what they say?
No. I'm not a hater. I'm rich. I'm rich. I'm in the Hall of Fame. Why am I a hater? I'm not a hater. I'm just speaking my truth. I'm speaking my truth, man, because I just call a spade, and that's just it. Yeah. You don't have to agree with me. Guys out there that have wives, do you always agree with your wife tell you? Do you always agree with her? No. You have your own opinion, your own thoughts. And I have my own opinions and my own thoughts. You ain't got to ride with me. You ain't got to agree with me. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I'm cool with that. But I ain't no hater. I'm rich. I'm in the Hall of Fame. I got a great family. I got multiple houses, business. I mean, dude, like hater? I don't hate, bro. I'm not hating. I'm like, bro, like I'm so confused on that, man. Most of the time, you get these haters that they ain't got nothing, and they just hate because they can't be that person.
Yeah.
I don't want to be tanked. I ain't trying to go to jail. I ain't never been in jail. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't trying to go. You feel me?
In your opinion, is Tank Davis following the Mayweather green print, so to speak, that Floyd always brag about?
He following the latest. He's following Pretty Boy.
Pretty Boy.
They got him following the Pretty Boy. Yeah.
No, Pretty Boy or Money May?
Money May, my bad. Money May.
Money May.
That's what I meant. Money May. I got him confused. Money May. That's the blueprint he following right now. He
ain't following Pretty Boy. He following Money May. Shout out
Money May.
Shout out to Solo Dolo dropping a $20 super chat. He said, I knew Tim was a real one. He said, when he ate a bacon sandwich on air doing commentary. Okay.
That's that BB sandwich, bro.
Hey,
that was fire.
Talk about the politics of boxing and why fights don't get made today as it relates to promoters, advisors, fighters, and networks.
It's a combination of everything. But just to answer your question, just around the gate, then I'll give you some context. The fighter. It all boils down to the fighter. Understand this, like you in a relationship with your promoter, like it's a partnership with your promoter. And your promoter might have a different outlook. Mm-hmm. You might have a different outlook, and you guys got to come together and talk about that. And if it's something that you want to really do, and you want that to be a part of your career, and you want to make this fight because it's all about legacy, and that's what you believe in, then you'll make the fight happen. Regardless, they have to make the fight happen. You know what I mean? So they working for you. You working together, and they also working for you at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, the promoter also has an obligation to the network. And that's where things get a bit difficult. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why you had DAZN on and you had Showtime on. You had to split network for this past weekend is because you had, Garcia, who's affiliated with DAZN, and you have Gervonta that's affiliated with Showtime. And that can make things very difficult. Now, this was a home run, just like commercial grade. Like, it was no joke. Like, this was a home run. Last weekend was a home run, dude. And everybody eats.
Right.
Everybody can eat off of this because a lot of money was generated. So promoters now, and this goes way back even when the Manny Pacquiao days. You know, I wasn't gonna get on Manny fight unless I was with Top. You know, that's the reason why I signed with Top Rank, and I left my promoters because I knew I had to get myself in position to fight a Manny Pacquiao fight. You know, so this ain't nothing new. This has been going on way back in the days. And I remember back in the days they used to make fights happen. You know, but it was a lot different, and the money was a lot less, I would say. But you know, everybody evolves. But each promoter, they want to have their own business because they're able to control everything. Understand that, okay? They're able to control everything. They're able to pay fighter A, fighter B. They're able to pay fighter, you know, the undercard, so on and so forth. They're able to balance the books the way that they see fit. You know, now when you're working with another promoter, yes, you can do 50-50, such and such, you know, whatever. But if the show tanks, ain't nobody winning.
Right.
You know, ain't nobody in the business to lose money. Everybody's in the business to make money at the end of the day.
Leonard Ella be talking about that all the time.
Yeah.
He talk about that all the time, yeah.
Yeah. So like some fights may take a longer to materialize, and we hate it as fans, and sometimes I hate it. I'm not gonna lie. I've been waiting on Spence and Crawford for the longest, for a few years now, 3 years now, you know, and the fight hadn't materialized, and it was all kind of excuses going back and forth between the two sides, you know. But, you know, I think that fights don't get made because of all three things I just said. The networks, bro. You're in the network. Think about this. You have a business partner, right? Or you have a partner with a business,
right?
And now you're gonna take your business somewhere else, bro. That's difficult, man. That's tough. That's tough to do. So, that's the problem right now with boxing, is that you have the promoters, different promoters. You have different entities. You have you know, different fighters. They have different directions, different, you know, visions, you know, as a company. And sometimes, just like last week, they can come together and they can, you know, put on a great show, a big show like they did, and everybody will be happy and make tons of money.
So basically, do certain fighters, I'm not going to say any names, but from your experience, do certain fighters hide behind their promoters and advisors in order to keep fights from happening? Let's say you have a situation where a promotional company is willing to, okay, I'm willing to work with this promotional company to make this fight. Do certain fighters, from your experience, hide behind their promoters or hide behind their advisors in order to make excuse why the fight shouldn't be made?
Well, they can. They absolutely can. Okay. Again, it's your advisor is going to tell you, hey, let's not make that fight, man. Let's go a different route. You know, although you might feel like, hey, man, this is a fight that I want this fight, and it's like, hey, bro, like let's you know, let's go a different route. Let's go this route because of this and this and this, and then you find yourself agreeing with them, you know, because you don't want to ruffle any feathers. So, yes, that can happen, and then you get some fighters that are like, I'll use Fulton as an example. I'll use Wilder as an example, that they say, hey, this is the fight I want. I don't care. Make this fight, man. We're going to make this fight. It don't matter, you know, and then they make it happen. They really, really, really want the fight, and then it happens. So you get Inoue, and you get Fulton fighting. You get Garcia, you get Tank fighting. You know, we get the fights that we want to see. So if you're going to put pressure on somebody, I would say put pressure on the fighters, guys. And that's what I do. And I put the pressure on the fighters. So, like, a lot of the stuff that I say that, yeah, they say he's talking out the side of his neck. I'm putting pressure on these guys. That's what I'm doing. I'm sitting here and I'm putting pressure on these guys at the end of the day. Because let me just talk about Spence real quick. I know I read one of your comments said, don't let Tim talk about Spence. I have nothing against Spence, man. I'm letting you know. I no ill feeling towards Spence. I think he's a tremendous fighter. That's why he's in my top pound for pound. He's no joke. But this is the thing. You first said Crawford didn't have a belt. He got a belt. Then he's affiliated with Top Rank. He's on the other side of the street. Okay. Crawford leaves, becomes a free agent. You win the 3 belts. You told us that you wanted to win the 3 belts. And then you'll fight Crawford. Crawford's a free agent, and we still haven't got the Spence Crawford fight. And I'm hearing through the grapevine that the fight's going to happen this year. I don't believe it because I just don't believe it. And once they step foot in the ring and it happens, then I believe it. But if it happens, it's great. It's been long overdue. This is the fight. This is the fight that everybody wants to see, and I think it'll do astronomical numbers as well. The business is great for everybody at the end of the day. So when I'm saying somebody is running, stop sprinting, stop getting away, stop running. I'm putting a fire. That's what I'm doing. I'm starting a fire. It has nothing at all because I don't like Spencer. No, I'm putting a fire under their behind because now what's the excuse? There isn't any more excuses. There shouldn't be any more excuses. Crawford is a free agent. Let's be fair and then go negotiation. And let's work it out. Just like these two did. Let's work it out and let's make it happen. Let's give the sport fans what they deserve, what they rightfully deserve. And it'd be great for both these guys' legacy. Both of them. Crawford and Spence need each other. They do.
Right. Tim, this guy right here, Terence Trotter, he said Hall of Fame for what? He said this issue is personal, so he feel like you got something personal against Tank Davis. I think he's from Baltimore. He's a Tank Davis fan. Shout out to FN40. He said Timothy Bradley, just by having a victory over Manny Pacquiao and Juan Marquez, tops Tank's entire career. Thank you, brother, for the super chat. Halim just dropped a half a dub. He said, "Hi, Timothy. Welcome." Who wins between Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez? And
Josh Taylor.
Okay, Josh Taylor. And Lee, what's out to Lee for dropping that $20 on super chat, man? I appreciate that, fam. What's the difference between Top Rank and PBC from a business model standpoint, in your opinion? From a business model standpoint, I don't think you ever did any business with the PBC from a promotional standpoint or an advisory standpoint, so to speak. But from your understanding, what's the difference between Top Rank and PBC from a business model standpoint as it relates?
Well, let me first talk about PBC and what PBC has done. Okay, all right. PBC years ago, there was some sort of hedge fund that was out.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
Waddell and Reed. A
lot of money.
Yeah.
Start buying up. They had over 300 fighters. They were basically trying to do what Dana White has done and created this monopoly. During that process, they were getting these fighters, and they were getting these fighters based on the amount of money that these fighters were making. And if it wasn't for PBC, fighters would not be making as much money as they're making today.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for a guy like Floyd Mayweather, the fighters wouldn't be making money the way they're making today. PBC raised minimum wage in boxing. Raised it. They was giving guys that weren't even champions at the time $1.5 million, $2 million per, like high amounts of money. So that's one thing that PBC has done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Top Rank, on the other hand, they've been in the business a lot longer than any other company in boxing. Okay. They have a business model. They tend to be fair with the fighters, and that's the reason why you have a lot of the young up and coming talent that sign, especially the Olympians, sign with Top Rank because they have credibility on building champions. They built Floyd. They built Pretty Boy.
Top rank. Yeah, Top Rank. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that, but
they built De La Hoya. They work with Ali. They work with Marvis Hagler. They work with Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, they work with everybody. So they're well in depth in the game. And I would say the difference of me not being with PBC is that I think you have a consistent flow of talent with Top Rank, one, and two, a consistent flow of fighters having dates, actually fighting more often.
So that's the difference between with Top Rank.
I think they fight a lot more. I think they get a lot more exposure being on ESPN. The fighters do. They've built champions. They have the greatest matchmaker in boxing. You know, and I think that, you know, the credibility, the past, the history, you know, and they've been the longest promoter standing. So people say, oh, Top Rank Bob Arum is this and that, and they, you know, they call him, you know, like, you know, they try to compare him to Dom King and so on and so forth. He's not like that. Straight up. You know, I've been with Top Rank. You know, they are my family, and you can say, oh, I'll always kiss their behind or whatever. No, I don't. I just have a great relationship with them. They the reason why I'm rich. To be honest with you, yes, they the reason why I got money. They gave me the opportunity, and loyalty is hard to find, you know, in nowadays, you know, and that's just it. You know, I don't know too much about PBC. I've heard what Broner said about them and them getting allowances and, you know, monthly allowances and so on and so forth. I heard about Broner, you know, whatever Broner says, I mean, it has to be true because Broner is trill. He's trill with it. So whatever he's saying out there, it has to be true about them. And obviously Broner's not with them, and he probably has his feelings. You know, his feelings are definitely hurt because they're not working with him. But at the end of the day, a lot of things that he's saying, you gotta trust.
So I'm glad you clarified that, because a lot of people, you have some people, and I have been a critic of PBC myself as of late, the fighters not getting the fight dates and the Crawford Spence fiasco. But to be fair, do you feel that PBC gets a bad rep from a lot of people, a lot of critics, or even maybe so people who may hate the PBC? Because like you said, when the PBC came in the game, they elevated a lot of fighters' fight purses in boxing. And if it wasn't for the PBC, would you say that, hey man, a lot of fighters will be making peanuts prior to, you know, we'll be making peanuts today prior to, if it wasn't for Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather, you know, formulating the PBC?
I don't know if they'll be making peanuts. I think you get what you deserve. You know, at the end of the day, and I think that's actually so for Top Rank. You get what you deserve. You know, Shakur Stevenson, for instance. Let me give you an example. I mean, Shakur Stevenson is a draw. You know, Shakur Stevenson is making money. He's making money. I'm not pocket watching, but I'm just letting you know, like, you know, if you are handling your business, if you're making money, and they're able to make money because you're a partner, they gonna take care of you. They gonna take care of you, man. At the end of the day, I don't know how it is on PBC side. I'm not sure how it goes or how that works. But I know on the Top Rank side, you know, you get what you negotiate plus you get what you rightfully deserve. And it just depends on your market value, baby, what you bring to the table. So
Al Heyman, you know, have you ever met Al Heyman personally? I'm going somewhere with this.
Never in my life. I've never seen Al Heyman, never spoke with Al Heyman. No one's ever seen. No one. Mystery man.
I think the last time Al Heyman was seen out in public was, I want to say maybe when Mayweather fought McGregor in 2017. I want to say that was it, when he was in the locker room and Floyd like hugged him. It was either that or the Manny Pacquiao fight. Floyd hugged him and he was crying in his arms. Why is that? Why do you think that? You know, you see Bob Arum, you see Eddie Hearns, you see Frank Warren, you've seen Don King, even to this day. Why is it that, in your opinion, Al Heyman doesn't show his face? Like, how come he's like a mystery man?
You don't want to know what I think about that, man.
All right, we'll talk about that off air. You don't
want to know what I think about that. You know what I'm saying? I you know, like somebody that don't show their face, man, and always hiding out, bro. What you got to hide? That's what I always think about. What you got to hide, bro? You know, like, come out, bro. Come out. Let it be known. We want to see you. You know, the people want to see you. Want to be able to touch you. Want to be able to shake your hand. We want to be able to look at you in your face, man. But he sits back in the cut and he just makes his power moves and he go about his business, man. Go ahead.
No, BJ dropping the quarter. Shout out to BJ dropping the quarter for Dub. It's kind of off topic what I wanted to talk about, but can you just brush over this right quick? BJ wanted to ask about. He said, "Coach, can you ask Tim about Crawford's fallout with Top Rank?"
Oh, the fallout with Top Rank. I don't have too much details as far as the fallout goes.
Okay.
I don't have too much details on that. Crawford's my guy. I talk to him occasionally, but I have no details as far as that fallout goes, so I can't speak on it.
Okay. Will, shout out to Will for dropping a half a dub. He said, I seen a report recently that Teofimo disrespected you and Ward. He said, what is your opinion about that? And do you think Teofimo is in a good place mentally right now going into Josh Taylor fight?
Yeah, I think he's in a good place because he knows he has to be.
Right. Yeah.
His last fight, he had a mediocre performance, and that can be due to a couple of things. One, I said before the fight that something was wrong with him mentally. Because I just never heard him talk the way that he spoke the way he did in the fighter meeting. I just never heard him, I'm not gonna tell you what he said, but it was just a lot of things that I was just like, huh? Like, what? Like, yeah. But
he shot a video on it. He shot a video on it and said, he said some crazy stuff, and he was talking about a lot of you and Andre Ward, y'all want to promote black fighters. I think he just insinuating that you're making it racial or whatever the case may be. I heard a clip of it, so he said that's what he said in the video. That someone sent me.
Well, what happened? What happened with Shakur Stevenson? Like what is he talking about? Like a lot of people say, oh, you be hating on black fighters, you be hating on. So if Teofimo, he's what, Nicaraguan? I don't know what he is.
No. He's saying that you and Dre only want to promote the black fighters. That's what he's saying. You only want to promote the black fighters.
No. I promote him as well. I think his father is very disrespectful.
T Diddy.
And he definitely very disrespectful. And I got a few words for him when I do see him. Because I don't run. I go straight to it. You know what I mean? If I don't say anything, it's gonna eat me up. So I'll just let him know, how I feel. But just put it this way: I promote every fighter, and I'll give you your just due. When you do well, I'll tell you did well. If you do shitty, I'll tell you did shitty. There's nothing wrong with that, man. You're not gonna always get it right all the time. And that's fine. And dealing with the criticism or the constructive criticism is fine. Now, the way I do it sometimes might not be, what everybody, think that's fair, because I'm just straight up. It's kind of the way I am. I'm built this way. My father used to talk to me the same way. You know what I mean? You learn from your parents. My dad was always chill with me. 100. You look like shit today, son. You didn't do good today, son. Man, what the hell you get hit with that shit before? How you get hit with that? Like he just told me straight up, you ain't gonna win nothing going like that. You're playing. Stop playing. So that's how I am. And I brought it to the broadcasting world, and it rubs some people the wrong way, and sometimes it doesn't. But just trust me, man. These fighters, I've been in the game a long time, and if these fighters just listen every now and then, they just listen to what I'm telling them, they'll learn something, man. They will definitely learn something. So Teo, I don't know, no feelings, no hard feelings for Teo. It is what it is. He can say whatever he wants, because when he sees me, he gonna smile in my face, and he gonna say hello, Tim, and he gonna be all good. And I'm not that type of guy, man. I'm not fake like that. So he'll know. His dad definitely gonna know when I see him. So Teofimo Senior, you already know what time it is when I see you.
Tim, Boxing Gems, your main man. Boxing Gems. Shout out to Boxing Gems for dropping that $100 super chat. He said, "Chimp,
that's my guy, man."
Yeah, for sure. He said, "Chimp, I want to hear a Loma versus Haney technical breakdown, and it better be good."
Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. Jim said that, man, because I just, man, Jim, we talk offline all the time, man. We on email, going back and forth about different fighters and matchups. Jims is one of the most brilliant minds that I've ever came across on YouTube on boxing. Technical breakdowns, from technical breakdowns to what the fighter's doing, positions, skills, move, it all. He does it all. Tactical work, the whole bit. But anyways, this is gonna be. I think this fight's gonna be a lot more interesting than what people are giving the credit for, man. They're not really giving Lomachenko a chance. I don't think they're giving him a shot. You know, everybody's looking at the size and they're saying, oh, it's the length and the size. And, you know, that's not everything. That's not everything. We talking about the technique of both of these guys. I think that Lomachenko has better technique. You know, I think his punch selection is minimal, but I think he has the right punches to give Haney problems, which are the straighter punches. I would say Haney definitely has to control distance, and that doesn't just mean going back off the back foot. That means going forward as well. I would say that Lomachenko, he has tendencies to get himself out of position quite often where he squares up. He'll bring that lead foot back to where he'll square up. And, you know, he gets caught in these disadvantageous positions quite often. If you go back and you watch the Lopez fight, you will see when Lopez attacked him, you will see him switch his feet and he'll move back and he's out of position. And, you know, he gets frantic and then when he's out of position, you know, and you're able to land on him and mount an attack. So I think that Haney can take advantage of those opportunities if he press forward behind his jab, but again, maintaining his distance, not allowing Loma to get in closer on him, and still punching and getting him out of position and keeping him out of position at times and having him running around the ring by being somewhat aggressive, but again, at the right distance. And then he can make him pay off the back foot as well when Loma starts reaching at times. Loma will reach. There's an uppercut that I see that Haney can land. But he got to have his left hand up, and that's where the problem comes in for Haney. Haney typically results to the, I would say, or default to the Philly shell, especially when, you know, someone crossed that threshold, meaning that line. His line, meaning they're in him, they're in the line of fire, they're right up on him, and he gets frantic, and then he goes into the Philly shell. Well, that's going to leave room for a shot from Loma. 2-1 combination that could affect Haney, no doubt about it, that he used against Ortiz. Okay, you remember that 2-1 combination that he used?
Yeah, I remember that.
The 2-1 combination, that's going to be a very effective weapon for Lomachenko if Haney doesn't go back to the drawing board and tighten that up. So all in all, I think that it's a great matchup. I don't like to say 50-50. You know, at the end of the day, but I can just say that I wouldn't be surprised if Lomachenko surprises a lot of people. And I say this because if you look at his track record, when Loma has a lackluster performance, he normally comes back with vengeance. When he lost to Teofimo Lopez, he came back and he fought Nakatila. What happened? You saw it. One of the best Lomas I've seen in a long time. When he fought against, what's the kid named Salido? And he comes back and he beats Gary Russell Jr. Oh my gosh, Gary Russell Jr. is a fantastic fighter. I like him a lot. And he beat him. It was after a subpar performance. I'm thinking Loma's going to be at his very absolute best against Haney. I think Haney struggles sometimes, struggles at times. Now he does struggle making that weight. He blows up in between fights. I think he's around $160, 65. He's probably up there near the 70 maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong, but when I see him, he got the chickmunk cheeks on. He looked like me about, let's say, 4 months ago. He swole up. So that's going to play a big factor on Haney late in the fight. So Loma typically comes on late. Okay, guys? He starts putting the pressure on late. He starts figuring out your rhythm. He starts figuring out your exits. He starts figuring out your pattern, your attack patterns. He starts figuring that out. And once he does that, that's when things going to get interesting. Okay, at the end of the day. One more thing. I know I'm all over the place because I'm trying to explain a whole lot of things. Talk to me about Haney's, and let me talk about Haney's inside game. Haney is not a really good inside fighter. Okay, he's not. He's a mid-range to outside fighter. He's good. He has decent timing on the outside. He has great setups, and everything is off his jab. And he does have a great control game up front against the southpaw. You go back, you watch him against Jojo Diaz. He controls that lead hand, and that's something that Tank did to your boy Garcia. Yeah. Go back and study it, people.
He did.
So, yeah, he took it away. You know, that he did that. He took it away. But at the same time, Loma is no Jojo Diaz. Loma typically keeps that high guard up, or would say somewhat. Occasionally, he'll use the long guard. But he dips in and he dips out and he looks for counters. He's always changing levels. He's always changing head slots. He's always changing his rhythm, always trying to make things difficult for his opponents to figure out when he's actually going to attack. And when he does figure out Haney, man, we're going to see what Haney has, man, especially on the inside. Besides that tying up, he going to have to fight. He going to have to fight low man spot. So, anyways, that's the breakdown. I know I'm on all over the place, but it's all good.
Do you think Ryan Garcia had a right to complain about the catch weight that he agreed to fighting Tank Davis? You know, I was out in LA and I interviewed Joe Goose, and I just want you just to touch on that just very briefly. You know, Tank fought him at a catch weight. A lot of Ryan Garcia fans feel as though if it wasn't for that and the rehydration, that Ryan Garcia would have beat Tank Davis.
I think it's soft. Yeah. I think that hydration is soft. You know, like, I'm not about that, man. This fight wasn't even for a title, bro. This wasn't even for the IBF. That's what they do for the IBF title. You know that, right?
Right.
So the IBF title, you only can weigh 10 pounds over the weight class that morning up. You know, that's what you do. You know, both fighters. So, you know, it wasn't even for a belt. You know, and I'm not about that. If you already made the man squeeze down to 136, he ain't been there in 2.5 years or 2 years or so. You know, you already made him squeeze down. Now you're going to take that. You know, only allow him to gain 10 pounds. For me being a fighter, me being who I am, bro, like, that's soft in my book. But at the end of the day, Garcia signed on the contract. No sides on the dotted line. But that tells you about what Garcia was all about at the begin with. I mean, he was like, he didn't care about the consent. He was like, yo, whatever it is, I want this fight because I know I'm gonna get paid. Right, and he fought that way too.
It was a cash out. Yeah, he was a cash out.
Oh,
yeah, he
straight up cash out.
He just wanted to cash out. He knew he wasn't going to win that fight.
Yeah.
From a skill set standpoint, I want you to hear this question. This is a good one. From a skill set standpoint, a heart, determination, and ring IQ, which fighter is the best in your opinion at the 135 pounds lightweight division?
It's between two fighters. It's between two fighters, and there's no disrespect to Haney because I think Haney is doesn't get a whole lot of credit. I think he's a tremendous fighter, but I just think that these guys are just better. It's between Tank and it's between Shakur Stevenson. Those two fighters right there.
Okay.
Tank and Shakur Stevenson. Those two fighters right there.
Do you think Tank Davis will ever fight any of those top guys in the lightweight division? We know Tank is one of them. Do you foresee him fighting a Shakur Stevenson in the future or Devin Haney in the future? Do you see
not when you have Frank Martin sitting over there and other guys that he can face over at PBC?
So basically, there's a lot of people called the show yesterday, and I was giving Tank the benefit of the doubt. I was saying that I think he will fight those other top guys. A lot of people jumped down my throat for saying that, but I had time to think about it, and I saw some things that I've been hearing from Floyd Mayweather and other people, and I heard it before the people mentioned it in the chat yesterday. But what you're saying is this thing probably with Tank and Ryan Garcia was a one-off. Tank is going to go right back to staying on his side of the street. Because I want to ask you this, Tim. This is what I always say on my show. Tank is a very, very unique fighter. He's the only, I think he's there's not a black fighter in America that can sell, that's a draw like Tank Davis. No black fighter in America can draw what he is. Probably most fighters in America outside of Canelo. Tank Davis can fight this pin. I have a pin in my hand. He can fight this pin and they can announce, hey, Tank Davis is fighting this ink pin in Las Vegas, and he'll sell out that arena. And it'll do live gate records and do great numbers. I said he's the only fighter that I know that outside of Canelo, he can do that regardless of who he fight, and he's going to do really, really good at the gate. So being that someone of a Tank Davis, if you're Leonard Ellaby, if you're Al Heyman, if you're Floyd Mayweather or Tank Davis or Calvin Ford, and you know that, hey, man, we can stick him in there with this cup of water and his fans going to buy it anyways, what is the incentive for him to want to fight a Shakur Stevenson, a Devin Haney, or hell, even a Teofimo Lopez at 140? Why would he do that when he doesn't have to?
Because if he wants to be the best and be considered the best in the world and be considered top pound for pound, one of the top best pound for pound fighters in the game, and to go into the Hall of Fame, you gotta test yourself against the best. At the end of the day, this is a sport, too. I understand the business, and he's made great money, and he has a huge following. They've built him up to what he is today. Now it's time for them to work on his legacy, because if he continues to fight these type of fighters, and some guys are cool with it. Some guys just love the money. They don't care about the Hall of Fame. They don't care about what comes along with this business. at the end of the day. I'm not sure if he's that type of guy or not, but if you want to be the best, if you want to be considered one of the best of your generation, you have to fight the best in the world, period. You know, you can say it all you want, but until you get in the ring, you're not going to get a whole lot of respect from the hardcores. Trust me, the hardcore fans out there, they understand. You might get respect from the casuals, because a lot of the casuals, and I would say the hardcore fans tuned in to watch them fight, but you're not going to get a whole lot of respect from the hardcore diehard fans that's been around for many years if you don't fight the best.
Do you think that Bob Arum will be willing to make those? Let's say just that opportunity was to present itself, and Shakur really wants to fight those top guys. Again, Shakur is with Top Rank. He has quite a few fighters in the lightweight division, and he can fight on that side of the street. So if the opportunity were to present itself, do you think that Bob Arum, let's flip it, would Bob Arum be willing to make a Shakur Stevenson, Lomachenko, or Devin Haney fight versus a Tank Davis? If that was
absolutely,
you think he would?
Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. I mean, it makes sense, and there's a lot of money that can be made for both parties. Absolutely, he'll make that fight happen. And you know, and I know people say, "Oh, you just no." Trust me, man. I've sat with Bob Arum on many occasions, and Bob, when it makes sense, when it's going to help the sport, when it's going to drive, and he knows that his guy definitely knows his guy can win the fight, the wonderful fight for his guy. He's all over it. He's all over it. That's why Bob has been in the sport a very long time, been longer than any promoter in the business, because he knows what he's doing. So yes, to answer your question, he will make the fight in a heartbeat, and Shakur Stevenson will make sure of that. Trust me, because at the end of the day, who does it boil down to, people? It boils down to the fighter. The fighter is the boss at the end of the day. Or, well, he's supposed to be.
Supposed to be the boss, yeah. Devin Haney, I'm going to pivot to him. Devin Haney, in my opinion, and this is my opinion based on my observation online, Devin Haney seems like the most disrespected undisputed champion of this era right here. If he beats Lomachenko, will he get the respect that he feels that he deserves?
He should. I mean, he should already get respect. I mean, tell me how many fighters have gone over to a different country, one, to win the undisputed championship, and secondly, to defend it out of his country. I mean, yes. I mean, it shows you about what his mentality and how this young man thinks and how he operates. He's all about legacy. Like, you can't, like, trust me, you can't, like, he couldn't pass up this fight. You know, the opportunity presents itself, you know, and yes, the money was good, yes, but that's not what it boils down to when it comes to Haney. Haney wants to fight the best guys out there. He's in position now. He's the king, I would say, at 135, because he does hold all the titles. But you can't be in a weight class where you have Lomachenko, who is a living legend. He's a living legend. And he's already, like, with how many fights he has, he's a legend, because what he's accomplished in a short period of time is unbelievable at the end of the day. And you got to give him his just due. He's fought in many championship fights. Fought in his championship fight, his third professional fight against Gary Russell Jr., people. Gary Russell Jr., who was a champion for many years, and he beat him. So, you know, you got to give him respect. So if he beats a legendary, I would say, living legend, Lomachenko, yeah, give him his respect, man. Give him his flowers while he's here. And you guys should already be giving him his flowers. He's a fantastic fighter, man. He's a really good fighter, very talented, and he never shies away from fighting against the best guys. You know, so it's hard to find guys like Haney. It's hard to find guys like him now.
I want to touch on this a little bit, just very shortly. Now, I'm glad you brought up Lomachenko. One of my biggest gripes from you, Teddy Atlas, Letterman, I felt like you guys was hyping Lomachenko up too much. Especially Bob Arum. I felt like, you know, it was like he was white Jesus. He can walk on water. If he stick his finger in a glass of water, he could turn it into wine. And Bob Arum is saying that Lomachenko is greater than Ali. This is the best fight I've ever signed. Like me, somebody like me, I'm a hardcore boxing fan, Tim. I'm 49. Yeah. I've been watching this a long time. And I'm like, what kind of shit is this? What the hell? You know, like, you get what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you another. Hold on. I'm going to tell you one thing that pissed me off the most than anything. 2017-18, I think, Terence Crawford became the undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world. It was Terence Crawford. It was Andre Ward standing right next to each other. Terence Crawford was 32-0, two-division world champion, undisputed at 140. He just beat Ndongo. And Andre Ward was standing right next to him. He was 32-0. And Teddy Atlas looked both of those men in their eyes. And I think Lomachenko was either 10, I think it was 10-1. And he told them in their face that Lomachenko was pound for pound #1 over both of them. Man, I've been mad at Teddy Atlas every goddamn since. I'm dead ass serious, bro. I've been 30 hot, and I was mad at you too. I say, man, god damn, man, y'all they praising him too much. Y'all talking like,
what did I?
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember what I said?
Oh my gosh, Dre, I've never seen anything. Of course, I always come with the hyperbole, but oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this, Dre. Look at the way the sweat fell off his forehead when he turned around. So I always make mockery of it, of course, and I use a lot of hyperbole and I joke a lot. But tell me why is that? Why is that? Explain that to me.
Well, the thing is that Lomachenko, first of all, like I told you, everything that Lomachenko has been able to accomplish, you don't see anybody else able to attain it or do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, third professional fight. I mean, the only other one that I can compare him to is Carissa Shields. That's the only other one. You know, what he was able to accomplish as an amateur. On top of that. Winning another world championship, 7th professional fight, and then another one at 13. Like, man, it's unbelievable what he's been able to do. Then you put the footwork on top of it and how he goes about his business inside the ring. You know, a lot of the guys that, get a bad rap is the ones that fight off the back foot.
Mm.
Lomachenko does a lot of stuff off his front foot. You know, he's aggressive. He has to. He has short arms. You know, he's there inside the pocket. He gets around guys. His footwork. Tell me, how many guys have you seen besides Pernell Whitaker that can get around guys, that can get around guys the way he did? The way he did early in his career. Tell me. Willie Pep? Who else?
Willie Pep. What about Nicolino Loche? I kind of like Nicolino Loche.
Yeah, but Loche didn't do it like Loma. Nobody has been able to get around that weak side and get around that right side as well, the way this guy has been able to do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Pernell Whitaker, but Pernell did it a little bit different, but not like him. And Pernell can be in your face as well, and he can hit you, and he can be off his back foot. I mean, Pernell did a lot of things, but, in this day and age, Lomachenko, and watching him and his footwork, and he does have some holes in his footwork too. Jims, what up? He's put out a lot of videos, and we've talked about, some of the things that he does wrong with his footwork. But you don't see fighters like that. You don't see guys making guys quit, on a stool because, they're getting beat up and then they can't hit the guy and the guy is right in their face. You don't see that. So when I talk about Lomachenko and I talk about him as a legend, a living legend, and so on and so forth, it's all the above that I talked about. All that I just said, all of that. That's what makes him a fantastic fighter, and he's always fought the best. If you go and you look at his resume, man, and you look at all the guys that he's faced, these are all killers, man. All these guys that he's faced is killers, and all he's after is legacy, greatness. That's it. It's not about the money. He gave Haney money for the belt, for the undisputed opportunity, for the chance to fight for the undisputed. Understand that. He gave him money out of his money. He has a minimum. Haney wanted another $1 million. He gave him his own money. That way he can have an opportunity to fight him. How many guys do that in the sport? Not many.
I'm glad you went there. The Devin Haney, explain that to me because, Devin Haney, damn, I don't want to go through all this shit, man, but let's just hit it. Devin Haney ended up becoming a WBC champion. He got elevated to it, right? Mauricio Sulaiman, and this is pivoting to my next question. Mauricio Sulaiman created the belt out of nowhere, which was the French. I call it the French fries belt. What they call the franchise belt, and they elevated. That's the term they use. Lomachenko to the French fries belt, and then the belt that Lomachenko had, he either got stripped of it or he dropped it. And Devin Haney, because he was the WBC intern champion, he got elevated. People said that Devin Haney didn't fight for it. He was an email champion and all that stuff there. and Lomachenko fought Teofimo Lopez. And then they said the winner of that was undisputed champion. I say they wasn't undisputed because when you look at the list, when I'm talking about the boxing historians, now I know that ESPN has an undisputed list. And I know that when you just look at boxing and overall, they have an undisputed list in the 4-belt era. The guys that I see in the 4-belt era outside of ESPN the Top Rank is Bernard Hopkins, Jermaine Taylor, who beat him. Let's see, 12 years later, Terence Crawford, Alexander Usyk a year later. Who else? Josh Taylor, Canelo Alvarez. Let's see, Jamel Charlo, Devin Haney, and A New Way to Monster. Those was the 9 guys that's universally recognized, outside of ESPN as the guys who were the undisputed champions in the 4-belt era. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're not wrong about that. But I can just tell you this: hypothetically, he was. Hypothetically, he was. Now, whatever that means, what I'm trying to tell you is that Lomachenko never lost the title inside the ring. So he had that belt. And for business reasons, he didn't fight, I'm sure, Haney. And so they elevated him to the super champ. Haney obtained the belt. He fought. And he got beat by Lomachenko. Or got beat by Lopez. Yeah, Lopez. So hypothetically, he is. But in reality, because he didn't have the belt at the time and Haney was elevated, he isn't. You understand that? So he can go around and say, I beat the man. I beat the man that beat the man. Lomachenko never lost that belt in the ring. And that's the reason why he can run with that title and say, I was undisputed champion. Hypothetically. Yes, he was. But in reality, he wasn't. The logistics, he wasn't. He wasn't the undisputed champion because he didn't have that belt when he fought him.
Well, technically he wasn't undisputed because he ended up losing to Teofimo Lopez anyways. He needed to end up losing Teofimo. Teofimo beat him.
Yeah.
Right. You get what I'm saying? So okay, so casual boxing fans, trainers, promoters, and fighters such as Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, they all say in this era that belts don't matter. Even Leonard Ellerby and Floyd Mayweather say that as well. Do you feel that the sanctioning bodies like WBC and the WBA have watered down the value of what being a champion is all about today with the way they create belts out of thin air, very similar to what Mauricio Sulaiman did for Canelo Alvarez, created a French fries belt, and what he did for Lomachenko? But by them doing that, creating belts out of nowhere, allowing certain fighters to hold on to titles for 2 years without fighting, and certain fighters, if they don't fight in a certain amount of time, they get stripped. Do you feel that, meaning showing favoritism, do you feel that in this era that the sanctioning bodies, who I feel that are controlled by the power brokers in boxing, like the Top Ranks and the PBCs and stuff, do you feel that because of the politics and a lot of the business stuff that goes on in the background, that the belts, being the champion is overrated, it's watered down because of the quagmire that we have today with the Mauricio Sulaiman and the WBA and stuff like that, just creating belts out of nowhere? What say you about that?
Absolutely. I think it's definitely watered down, no doubt about it. I'm sick of all these new belts and stuff they created, but it's all to get a sanctioning fee. That's what it's about, is to get a sanctioning fee for the sanctioning body, and I'm sick of it. I'm also sick of, them not, understand this. I got stripped twice. Okay. Let me tell you how different it is nowadays. I got stripped twice when I was the WBC champion and WBO champion at the same time. The WBC stripped me after I beat, it was Kendall Holt. They stripped me. I have no idea why whatsoever, why they stripped me. I was willing to face whoever I needed to face, so on and so forth. They just said, well, we don't, you already have, you got to choose one belt. You got to choose one belt. So, and then they did it again. When I beat Devin Alexander, they did it again. They stripped me of my WBC title. And nowadays, you got a lot of guys that are holding on to these belts. And like you said, they're affiliated. They have a relationship built with the promoter, and each promoter has their sanctioning body that they affiliate themselves with. Of course, they affiliate with all of them, but they have better relationships with some more than the others.
Can you give me some examples?
So for instance, I'll give you an example. So you see a lot of the champions with the WBO. You see a lot of champions with Top Rank.
Right.
Champions. even including the WBC at times. You see a lot of WBA champions, you're going to see PBC with them. IBF is, not sure where IBF is at, but I just know that that's what it is. I was a WBO champion for many years. I know Paco personally, cool guy, dope, one of the best organizations I feel. And I could be biased because that was my belt at the time. I really enjoyed that sanctioning body.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's watered down. I think WBA is the absolute worst. I think they have so many damn belts that it's ridiculous. You don't know who the champion. How do you have 3 different weight champions in the weight class, in one weight class?
That
don't make any damn.
You say you think the WBA is the worst?
The worst, absolute, the worst.
What about Mauricio Suleiman? Well, it's to the discretion of the WBC that we created this special.
The WBC used to be the belt, used to be the best belt in the game. They were one of the first ones that started. They started this thing.
Well, the WBA was around before the WBC though. They used to be called something else.
But it was before. Yeah, the WBA was, but the WBC came in. It was the most prestigious belt because they changed the game. Mm-hmm. The WBC is the one that changed the game. I mean, from the 15 rounds on. I mean, they changed a lot of what goes on in boxing. So they were the prestigious belt. That was the belt that I was after. That was the belt that when I went in the gym, that was the only belt that I saw on these champions was that. Mm. All the pictures on the wall. But since, Papa Suleiman passed away, things has changed. The business has changed. The boxing game has changed. And now these champions are holding on to these belts. It's so easy. It's so easy nowadays to, get a fighter to win a championship, or for a vacant title or fight for a vacant championship. It's so easy. These guys are not earning anymore. So,
Tim, I know you got to go pick your kids up. So I have 2 more questions. I'm gonna let you go. I have to ask you this question. Terence Crawford. When I met Terence Crawford twice. I met him in Omaha, Nebraska twice, and I just left his gym not too long ago. Him, Bomac Red, all that stuff there. Bernie the Bouncer. Shout out to all the brothers over there. Saul, shout out to you guys. Crawford spoke about how you gave him his big break, in the sparring session and stuff like that. He was relatively an unknown fighter, and he said you gave him his big break when you guys sparred, and now he's a future Hall of Famer. Give the fans a backstory about how that materialized into where Terence Crawford is right now, the opportunity. Of course, he put the work in, of course, but it break that down for me, for people who don't know.
Well, first of all, I think I was getting ready for Devin Alexander, and then I had him for Pacquiao too. So I had him for 2 camps, but I was getting ready for Devin Alexander, and I was tip-top shape. I was sending everybody home. I was beating up everybody in the gym, sending them home. And I was running out of sparring partners. So I told my manager, Cameron Duncan at the time.
That was 2011? That was about 2011, right? Okay.
Yeah. And then so I called him up and I said, hey, I need a sparring partner, man. Like, I'm sending these guys home. Like, I need somebody that's durable, somebody strong, somebody tough. And he was just like, well, I'll send Crawford. I'll see if he can come out. So got in contact with Crawford, his camp, whatever. He flew out by himself. He came in the gym. I seen him sitting in the gym. He had these little plaits in his head, very dark skin, look kind of scrawny. He looked strong. You know what I'm saying? I already know, certain builds. I'm like, yeah, he looks strong. Yeah. Very linky, quiet, didn't talk much, man. He warmed up, got in the gym. We started working. We started sparring. And I was like, oh my gosh, he was lighting me up. Every mistake I made, bing, 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 he was catching, countering the shit out of me. And I was like, my gosh. So
that was 2011.
So after the sparring session, I'm like, yo, I sat there, I'm like, damn, bust a lip and all. I'm like, man, I was sending everybody home. I'm like, this dude just walked through me like nothing. I looked at him, I said, bro, you ain't no sparring partner. I said, man, what's your name? And he was like, Terence Crawford. And I'm like, man, where the hell you from? He goes, Omaha, Nebraska. I go, bruh. I'm like, you ain't no sparring partner. You a world champion. And he was like, oh, you really think? I was like, man, you got the goods. Look, listen to me. every time I would try to step it up, because that's what I would do. I would go half-ass, and then, you know, if they start getting the best of me, then I'll step it up. And if they start getting, you know, and then if they rise their game, then I rise mine. And I just kept rising my game. And I just kept trying to rise my game. Well, he rose his game. And I'm like, God, I was like, dang, this dude is different. Like, most guys would just crumble. Like, oh, you the champ, so I'm just going to lay down. He didn't lay down at all. He didn't take it easy on me. And I was like, oh, my God. So it went from there. So I immediately, after training, I took him back to his hotel. And better yet, he had no coach with him. Nobody would. Literally, they were giving him water, and that was it. He didn't have a coach telling him what to do. My coach sure as hell wasn't telling him what to do. And he just figured it out. And I'm just like, what the hell going on here? So then I immediately, like, I left the gym, dropped him off at his hotel, at his room. Boom, I get on the phone, and I'm like, Cameron. I'm like, yo, where does God come from?
Cameron Duncan?
Like,
Cameron Duncan?
Yeah, he goes, what, he's no good? You're going to send him home too? And I'm like, hell no. I was like, bro, when is this kid fighting? He was just like, what do you mean? I said, dude, what are you doing with him? And he was just like, well, nothing right now. He's kind of benched. He's, issues. He has issues outside of the ring, and so he's kind of benched. I'm like, bro, I was like, I'll buy him out of his contract right now. I said, how much you want for him? I'll buy him right now. And he was like, wait, hold up. I love Terence. What are you talking about? His tone changed real quick when I was telling him, like, bro, I was like, he dominated me in the sparring session. He goes, what? He goes, really? Oh, yeah. So then, all right.
He didn't know what he had. He didn't know what he had.
He had no clue what he had, right? Yeah. Neither did Top Rank, right? So then I'm finished camp or whatever. I go through Devin Alexander. I beat him, whatever. Then I get a call, and they're like, hey, what do you think about Crawford and Prescott? And I was like, Prescott who? The dude that knocked out Khan? Yeah. I'm like, oh, I was like, Crawford. I said, he'll box circles around him. I was like, he'll box circles around him. I said, he probably even stop him. And it was like, he goes, really? Really? And this is Cameron Duncan I'm talking to. He goes, really? You really? He's like, you're sure? I'm like, man, I promise you everything, whatever it is, I promise you. And I was like, man, I was like, yo, you still want to go 50-50 on Crawford? He goes, no, I'm fine. Oh, all right, cool. But anyway, before Crawford left the camp, that was the story right there, man. But before Crawford left the camp, I told Crawford, I said, you have something special. And I told him, I said, man, look, you stay on the right course. I said, stay out of trouble, stay out of the streets. I said, really live this. Keep your weight down, and opportunity's going to present itself. I said, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to call Top Rank. I'm going to talk about you. I said, when the opportunity comes, I said, you got to make sure you shine, and then when it came, boom, man, the rest is history. And right after that fight, when I saw him fight Prescott, I announced to the world that day, I said, he's going to be the future pound for pound #1 fighter in the world. And he accomplished that. So, knew that kid was special. I knew that kid was special, man, because trust me, man, I was hell in the ring, man. You got to deal with more than just my punches. You had to deal with the head. You had to deal with my strength, my conditioning, and Crawford was able to deal with all of that. So I knew he was different.
That's when I think Midge Minor was his trainer at the time, right?
Who was that?
Midge. Was Midge his trainer?
Yeah.
The old man.
Nah, it was Bomac. I think it was Bomac because I think his trainer had passed away.
No, his trainer passed away in 2018.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it was both. It was Bomac. Okay. It was Bomac, I believe. Yeah, I think it was Bomac. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was Bomac, man. He would talk, and the crazy thing is about Crawford is that like every day he was different. So like I would come back the next sparring session, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get his ass now. Yeah, I know his weakness. Man, that dude was like a chameleon. Man, that same weakness, he just patched up. It ain't no longer a weakness. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, yo, you didn't do that yet last week. So then we would converse after the sparring session. I was like, man, hey, yo, do that move again, dog. Like, how'd you do that? How'd you know I was gonna do that? And he's like, well, you set up this way. And you see, what I'm saying? He started explaining. I'm like, wow. I'm like, dude, and again, no trainer there, nobody there. It was just him, and he was in the corner by himself. Yeah.
Hey, yo, all right. So Tim, this it right here, man. I'm gonna name the names. This episode is called Name the Name. This is the last one. I'm gonna name the names, and I want you to say the first word that come to mind when I say these names.
Go ahead.
Shakur Stevenson.
The next pound for pound #1 fighter in the world.
Tank Davis.
Oh, wow. The next, I would say the cash cow. Cash cow. I would say the next cash cow in boxing.
When you say next, you mean like on the level of Canelo or someone up in there?
Yeah, he gonna get there. Yeah, level of Canelo. Like he'll be making like the 40 million. He gonna be up there. He gonna make that type of money.
Woo! God damn, boy. Devin Haney.
Unappreciated, but a very talented fighter. I love his heart. I love his drive. And I just love his tenacity, man. I love the fact that he's willing to face the best, take on the best challenges out.
Keyshawn Davis.
Another pound for pound, top guy in the game. Will be there sooner than later. He's moving at a rapid pace. He should be fighting for a world championship no later than next year, mid next year.
Vasily Lomachenko.
Legend in the game. Got a lot of respect for him. On his last straw, I would say. This is going to be a defining moment right here. If he doesn't accomplish this feat, I believe that he may be done with the game.
Errol Spence.
A tremendous fighter. One of the toughest welterweights out there. I would love to see him fight against Terence Crawford. I think it'll be a great fight. I think it's a tough fight for both guys. It's not an easy win for Crawford, although everybody knows that I'm with who I'm with at the end of the day. But I think it's still a very challenging fight for Crawford on many levels. But great fighter. That's why he's in my pound for pound.
So Canelo Alvarez.
Another great fighter. I think he is the face of boxing. Currently the face of boxing. I don't think it's Tank yet. Canelo Alvarez is I think he's near the end. I really do. I think he's near the end. And I only say that because I think Father Time, I think the amount of money that he's made now, I think he's set. I think he's comfortable. I think he's set. And, I think his priorities are starting to change. So, but a great fighter, talented fighter. And we need a guy in the game like Canelo Alvarez.
Last one, Tim. Jamel Charlo, the current undisputed junior middleweight champion of the world. Love
Charlo. Think he's great fighter. Would love to see him fight more often. What else? His division is somewhat. I think his division is somewhat weak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's somewhat weak. I would love to see him, test the waters in another division, and see what he can accomplish there. But again, another brother, another good fighter, extremely talented and powerful, and I just want to see him continue to fight the best out there.
Timothy Bradley, Hall of Famer. Congratulations, man. I
appreciate you, man.
I really thank you so much for really taking the time out of your busy day to come on this show. When I saw you in the chat, I didn't think it was you because I get trolled a lot, so I thought it was a troll. But much respect to you, much love to you. I look forward to meeting you. Yeah. I will be at the tank. I will be at the Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko fight next month. And man, it was an honor, man. I really appreciate it. Do you have any last words, parting words that you want to say to any of your haters, people who may hate you, people who may love you, or whatever the case may be? Anything you want to say?
Hey, you a hater? You may love me. You a fan. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna see what you're gonna want to listen to me and see what I got to say. So that way you can hate on it. So, but I love everybody, man. It's all good. I probably shouldn't say I love everybody because I really don't. Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, I do love my fans out there, whether you're a hater or not. Appreciate the love. Appreciate you bringing me on the show, man. Yes, I do be in the comment section. I do be hitting back. Yes, I do be going at people. Yes, I'm real. I'm real with it. You know what I'm saying? And so if you do see me in the comment section, And if you say something out of line,
I'm
then I'm gonna try to check you.
I'm gonna make you a
I'm
moderator.
definitely gonna check.
I'm gonna make you a moderator, so don't nobody try to block you. Hey, shout out to Timothy Bradley, man. Round of applause. Hey, Tim, thank you so much, brother. I will give you a call later on.
All love.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Round of applause,
Thank you,
man. Round of applause, Timothy Bradley. Guys, I couldn't keep him longer, man. He got, he got to go pick his kids up from school and stuff like that. He's on the West Coast, so I kind of kept him longer than what I should. But he took the time out to try to answer as many questions as I could. I had 25 questions here. I got a chance to ask him maybe 20 of them. And it is what it is. So I want to shout out to everybody who gave a super chat. I know these are the super chats that I didn't address who gave a chat. Shout out to 15 rounds. Shout out to 15 rounds for dropping that half a dub. He said, Coach, ask where one time hiding at. I heard Boots, so I'm looking for him. Well, one time, yeah. Okay, yeah. I got you. Talking about Keith Thurman. Let me get to the other guys that I didn't get. That gave a super chat. Shout out to Chauncey Pearls. He said, Tim, mad respect. He said, what is your relationship with the old trainer Joel Duaz? He said, wish you the best. I do apologize about that, fam. We had 1,100 people in the chat, right? And I'm trying to get to everybody, and I knew that the time was limited, and I was hoping that he wouldn't cut me off before I got to my questions. So I had some good questions, as you guys can see. It is what it is. Hey, let's get them lights up, man. We got to get them lights up. I got to come with the Riley because I did not hit people with Riley. It is what it is. Shout out to Juggernaut for dropping that $2 super chat. He said, remember, Butterbean was also selling out arenas. Okay, Butterbean was selling out arenas. What else we have right here? Oh, the Juggernaut. I think that's it. That's all I have. Once again, the phone lines is open, man. As a matter of fact, we got to get the lights up. We got 1,100 people in here. We have half the likes. We have 1,100 people in here. We have half the likes. I want to get these likes all the way up, man. I know I got a lot of haters in here that don't want to hit the like button. And again, if you are a hater, you don't like Coach Malachi Williams, you can't stand my guts, nigga, fuck you. This is how I feel about it.
Look, fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them shoes. Fuck the socks with the bell on it. Fuck them cheap-ass cigars. Fuck your yuck mouth teeth. Fuck your hairpiece. Fuck your chocolate. Fuck Guy Ritchie. Fuck Prince William. Fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
Y'all know me, car ain't got no roof. This 2021 version of Coach Malachi Williams. I don't smoke no weed no more, so I'm gonna tell you what the fuck on my mind. It's amazing. Timothy Bradley is very similar to me. He'll cuss a motherfucker out. I will cuss your ass out in a heartbeat. I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm gonna clap. I'm gonna clap back every time. I'm always gonna clap back. You get what I'm saying? Phone lines open, man. Anybody want to call into the show? Call the show. The phone lines open. 530-494-9636. We got about another 30 minutes, man, because I got to take my son to karate. 530-494-9636. UK calls 4420-3769-8745. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Shout out to the Martin. He said 1,000 in the chat plus. That's what's up. It is what it is, man. All these dudes who hating on Twitter and hate on me on YouTube, you niggas can't stop me. I keep telling you that. I'm too talented. I'm too smart for you guys. Y'all been around for 1,000 years. I just came on the scene about 28 months ago. You niggas can't fuck with me. Why? Because Coach Malachi Williams is unfuckwittable. You get what I'm saying? I'm unfuckwittable. Remember that. You see what I'm saying? Remember that. I'm arrogant and cocky and I talk shit. It ain't a goddamn thing you can do about it. And I say that disrespectfully. Caller, what's your name when you calling from?
Jamie, New York.
Jamie from New York. Talk to me.
Coach, first of all, man, congratulations. That was a phenomenal fucking interview, man. That was awesome. The chat loved it. For real, man. Congrats.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that.
Coach, do you mind? Yeah, man. Yeah. You said you had about 25 questions for him. You only got to ask him around 20, you said?
20, yeah.
Do you mind sharing? Yeah. Do you mind sharing with the chat what the other questions were?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
Yeah, the other question was on 12 of Tank Davis's 13 opponents have been Hispanics who were champions or have moved up in weight. Some of them was undefeated as well. Nine of the 12 were undefeated. He fought Ryan Garcia at a catch weight. If Tank criticized your Hall of Fame resume, who would you consider Tank's resume the real deal in comparison, or is Tank's resume just smoke and mirrors?
Okay. Yeah, that was a good question, Coach. Yeah.
That was one, and then it was some Mayweather Leonard LB questions that I was going to ask him as related to Booger Ray Leonard. I was going to ask him the question about is he familiar with the story of when Jay Prince was managing Floyd Mayweather and Floyd tried to get out of his contract with Jay Prince, and Jay Prince had to send some goons to the Top Rank gym facility, the gym in Vegas, and I heard there was blood everywhere, and some Booger Ray was tied up, hog tied in the trunk. Yeah, I was going to ask him about that, but I ended up passing on it. I ended up passing on it because
all right, I got you. Yeah. All right, I got you. All right, Coach. That's all good. But thank you, man. Great interview, man. We love your show. Keep grinding, bro.
Yeah,
that's it. That's my
shout out to Jamie, man. Yeah, man. Phone lines open, man. 530-494-9636. Coach Malachi is here. I'm answering all phone calls. I'm answering threats, gun emojis, whatever y'all want to say. I'm with it today. I promise you I'm with it today. The Fagnons, the She-Goes, the Alphabet Boys. Don't make me know, never mind. Coach is here. The chump size, whatever fuck nigga got a problem. Y'all fuck niggas to me. Remember that. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Coach, this is Jerron calling from New York.
Jerron calling from New York. Talk to me.
Coach, I watched you from when you first started to now. And everything you said, you did it. And I'm proud of you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yes, I appreciate that, fam. I appreciate that.
I'm proud of you, brother. That was a great interview. You give everybody a fair chance on your platform to talk everything. And I knew when I first started watching you, I said, yeah, he's going to blow up. Might take a little time, but he's going to blow up. But when he do blow up, he's going to really blow up. But I just want to say that to you, Coach. I love to see people start something and then finish it, man.
Yeah, man.
Keep doing your thing, Coach.
I appreciate
I'm proud
you,
of you. I'm gonna keep watching.
Shout out to Jerron,
right,
man,
brother.
from New York. New York, stand up, man. New York, stand up. Shout out to again, anybody want to unsubscribe and leave? I'll holler. You can unsubscribe and leave. I will replace you. Remember that. Caller, what's your name? What do you call it? Well, call her on the phone up. Call her on the phone up. Y'all call back. 530-494-9636. 530-494-9636. UK numbers at the bottom as well. I'm not hard to find. Coach Malachi is here. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Boy, Grand Baltimore, Coach. What's going on, brother?
Sure, from B-More. Talk to me.
That was a good interview, man. A good interview. I didn't know who you were talking to at first. I was just listening, but that was a good interview. And he's always been like that, outspoken. His father's like that. I don't know if you ever seen an interview with his father, right? Yeah, his father's the same way. Big dude, man. But this whole thing where people say the WBC was the most, biggest belt. I don't remember any of that. The only thing I remember is that Don King controlled it back in his day when he was the top of the heat, and it was the most scandalous belt. It was never the most prestigious belt. It was ripe with just scandals and everything else. I don't know when did it become the most prestigious belt? When, why, and how? And nobody's ever been able to answer those questions. So I guess the next time, either one was doing an interview with these cats, we can find that answer out. All right, but keep on doing what you're doing, brother.
Shout out to Troy, man, from B-More. Salute, fam. B-More, stand up. Shout out to E-Money in the building. Shout out to my sister Bless365. Shout out to my sister Lisa Bells, Green Eyes P. Shout out to Food Revolution, all the tenderonis. This is a tenderoni. Hey, this is my brother right here, Blood, man. I just saw your text, man. I didn't ask him the second part of your text. I apologize, my brother. Y'all know this is my main man right here, Retro Boxing and Documentary. This is my main man. I fuss with Blood heavy. Florida boy. One thing about Florida, we don't do no D-riding. We'll cuss a nigga out in a minute. And Florida, and Blood is a big dude. That nigga like 6'5", about 230. So that's my nigga though. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Coach, what's going on? It's Casino Life Prayer.
Casino Life, talk to me, my brother. ATL, stand up.
Quick question. How many likes you got?
Oh, man, I'm shorter than a midget on his knees trying to sling keys. I have less than 600 likes. I have 593 likes. We had 1,100 people in here.
Yeah, man. Look, I just wanted to say, hey, y'all, well, first of all, y'all get the lights up, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to salute a real one, man. This man doing numbers now. You know what I'm saying? Like, from when I first started watching the channel, bro, it's like ever since Saturday, bro, it's like it's double the people in here. It's like I feel like that fight on Saturday, because every channel I watch got more people than normal. Yeah. It's like boxing is popping right now. Like
it is.
This shit back. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, because you know what I'm saying, people gonna gravitate towards the channels that's professional. You know what I'm saying, that's doing it the way they supposed to be doing it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they sticking around because you do what you do the way you do it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, man. Like,
well, I got to say, man, shout out to Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, you know, because that's such a big fight. The way this boxing stuff on social media works is you have your ebbs and your flows on YouTube, right? So if there's no big fights going on, and let's say just small minor fights, you'll see people have live shows and you won't see that many people there and it won't be much of nothing. And the content creators have to be very creative with the topics they come up with. Me, I have a marketing background. So I understand SEO. I understand SEO very well. I know how to optimize. My channel is optimized. I know how to optimize my keywords and titles and stuff like that. YouTube is about the thumbnail and the headline. So I understand that very, very well because of my background that I come from. So I know how to draw a crowd. Yeah. I know how to take people who hate my guts and make them watch me every day. They will hate watch me. You know what I mean? So that's what I do. And then I know how to find new subscribers and make them, you know, fall in love with me. So it is what it is. So, you know.
Let me add one thing to what you're saying.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I want to add one thing to what you're saying. Like, yeah, like you said, shout out to Tank and Ryan. But it also shout out to you because people not going to stick around if you ain't talking about shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't peep in other channels, you know what I'm saying? It's only certain channels that viewers have doubled. Like, every channel ain't double. You know what I'm saying? It's the ones that really got talent and the ones that really belong in this business that's really growing from this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because people ain't gonna stick around for no bullshit just to the Tank and Ryan. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. It ain't all just Tank and Ryan, but I know you humble and shit. Shout out Tank and Ryan, but also, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you because shit, bro. They ain't sticking around for Tank. That was on Saturday. They still here.
Yeah, you gotta have the talent. Yeah, you gotta have the talent. A lot of these dudes, they don't have the talent that I have. They don't have the gift of gab. They don't know how to captivate an audience. They don't know how to be entertaining on shows, and that's the problem. And so you're right. You do have to have the talent. It doesn't, you know, if you don't have the talent at the end of the day, the people ain't gonna stay. That's bottom line.
It's just like this last thing. This only point. I'm just making a point for what I just said. It's just like how you know how people always say that Tank wouldn't be where he was if it wasn't for Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
But Floyd Mayweather, that's not the only fighter Floyd Mayweather had. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like he had to do what he did in the ring to make people stick around and see him. And that's the same thing with you. You know what I'm saying? You're doing what you do to the best of your abilities, and everybody can tell that you really care about this shit. You know what I'm saying? You put a lot of thought in this shit. You take notes. You know what I'm saying? You do this shit. So
yeah,
you know,
I love boxing. I love boxing. Hey, shout out to Casino Life Prayers, ATL stand up fam. Salute. Thank you, brother, for calling the show. Yeah, I love boxing.
Yeah.
I love boxing, man. I love boxing. I love boxing. I'm very passionate about it. And you know, that's why we have a boxing criteria over here. I love boxing a lot. It means a lot to me. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I have a criteria, but I have a no nonsense approach. You know, I don't take no shit. You know what I mean? I have a no nonsense approach because on social media, you know, especially on YouTube and Twitter, it's a lot of fugazi stuff going on. Stuff that ain't got nothing to do with boxing. These dudes want to be internet gangsters and all this stuff that shit ain't got nothing to do with the check left hook, how to parry, how to block. Ain't got nothing to do with none of that, man. Let's just stick to boxing. All that whole shit, nigga ain't on that. Caller, what's your name? You calling from?
What's going on, Coach?
What's your name? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, this is Ernest from Houston, man. How you doing, man?
Ernest from Houston. Talk to me, my brother. H-Town.
Man, I love your show. I ain't gonna lie. I damn near gave up on boxing, man, but you keep it interesting, man. So I'm getting a little bit more faith in. I have a question. I want to ask you this. I'm gonna let you go. Do you think some boxers, like the best boxers, they prolong fights, hoping that the other guy that we want to see him fight get an L so they won't have to fight him?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good question. They're you know, fighters, a lot of fighters do move very strategically. You know what I mean? And that's why I asked Tim that. I was like, do you feel that some fighters hide behind their not their financial advisors, their advisors or their promoters in order to prevent, you know, in order to not have certain fights, key fights and stuff like that. So I do believe that. I believe that.
Okay, one more thing. Give me your honest opinion, Coach. You think Benavidez and Canelo will ever fight?
Man, you know what, man? I was optimistic. I was optimistic, but I'm not optimistic anymore. I'm not optimistic anymore. To be honest with you, because of the sanctioning bodies, and then Canelo does what he wants to do. So
Yeah.
Canelo does what he wants to do. So if Canelo don't want to fight him, he ain't gonna fight him. You know what I mean? And then if Canelo does want to fight him, according to what will David Benavidez promoter say, hey, we'll let you go to DAZN in order to fight Canelo on DAZN if that's what Canelo wants, because Canelo is the A side. So you're going to deal with the network issue, and then you're going to deal with a promotional issue. Will the PBC allow David Benavidez to fight Canelo on that DAZN platform? The answer is more than likely no. So that's probably why we won't see that. And then if Canelo don't want to fight David Benavidez, the answer is no. So.
Okay, one more because I'm let you go. Do you think all the divisions should just go back to to one belt, man, not all them different belts, like 5 different belts in one division?
Yes, I do believe they should do that, but they won't, because if they do that, then they'll be cutting their nose off despite they'll cut their face off despite their nose, because that's a lot of money that they're going to be missing out on. So, but shout out to Ernest Maystown, man. Salute, fam. Brady 12 asked me, he said, Coach, do you believe Oscar was threatened for real? Hell no. Oscar De La Hoya wasn't threatened. Oscar De La Hoya wasn't threatened. That's a lie. That man wasn't threatened. He wasn't threatened at all. I don't believe that shit. Oscar capping. That's cap. Let me get to the super chats. Let me get to the super chats. I know we got super chats missing. Hold on. Carla, hold on. Got super chats to get to. Shout out to Jose, man. Shout out to Jose, man, for renewing your membership, man. Becoming a member. Salute, fam. Shout out to Jose. There's a super chat I missed. I think I missed a super chat. Or was that just the membership? I think that was just the membership. Okay. Shout out to the Martin. He said 1K for dropping that $2 super chat. 1K plus in the chat. That's what's up. Okay, yeah, that's it. Carla, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Trap from Orlando.
Trap from Orlando. Talk to me.
Check this out, Coach. You like old school fighters. Which fight do you think was bigger? Leonard Hearns or Leonard Duran?
I don't know. You mean from a financial standpoint? Because I don't know the finances. Yeah. I don't know the finances of it. I don't know the answer to that.
But this is what I'm trying to say. They saying Tank should fight Haney or Stevenson. You always got to put a black with a Hispanic, man. That's the most money. The Hispanic got the whole country behind them in Mexico. This is two black fighters. It's not gonna sell.
This is the problem with your logic. I came up in the era where the black fighters fought each other. The era that I came up in, black fighters fought each other. Pretty Boy Floyd fought black fighters. Listen, Pretty Boy Floyd fought black fighters. So the thing.
Who did he?
Well, he fought Zab Judah. He fought Chop Corley. Let me see. It was a couple. He fought Augustus, the Drunken Master. Pretty Boy Floyd had 35 fights with Top Rank. Hold on, hear me out. Roy Jones fought black fighters. James Lifestyle Tony fought black fighters. Bernard Hopkins fought black fighters. Who else? What's my main man name? Simon Brown fought black fighters. Pernell Whitaker fought black fighters. Buddy McGirt fought black fighters. Sugar Shane Moses. So I came up in the era when black fighters fought each other, as well as they fought Hispanic fighters.
Listen though. But that's if you're just a fighter. But when you're a prize fighter, think a prize fighter. He don't care nothing about none of that. You go for the one that's gonna make the most money for you. That's why he fought Garcia. He couldn't have fought Devin Haney and made that type of money. There's no way. He wouldn't have made that money fighting him.
So you saying all that to say what?
That fight got to be at the right time. It's got to be at the right time. That fight got to be built up like crazy for it to make that type of money. Him and Devin Haney. It has to be. He's not going to make that type of money. He's not. It's got to be Hispanic on black to make a big fight if you're a prize fighter.
Okay. That's it? That's all you have, Trap?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Shout out to Trap from Orlando. Yeah. Shout out to my sister, Food Revolution. What's going on, sis? Food Revolution, what's going on? I owe a lot of you guys an apology from yesterday. I owe a lot of you guys an apology. Me and Two-Tone the Superstar, we had our differences yesterday on the show, and a lot of people in the chat, I had my differences. I was optimistic that Tank Davis will fight those other top guys in the lightweight division, and I said that I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I did say that yesterday. After thinking about it, looking at some interviews and looking at stuff that has transpired after the show, I have changed my mind, and I reserve the right to change my mind. And you know why I changed my mind? Just based on what Trap from Orlando just said. Because you got fans like Trap from Orlando is saying that Tank don't need to fight those other guys, those black fighters, those other top guys, because you have to fight black with the Hispanic or Mexican. So since he's saying that, and that is a position of Tank Davis's team. That is a position of Tank Davis. Now I feel that you guys was right. I owe you an apology. I was going to give Tank Davis the benefit of the doubt. I would not. I reserve the right now to change my mind. More than likely, we would not get those fights. I have come to that conclusion. Shout out to Mr. Lemons for dropping that $2 super chat. He said, "Can I get a Broner for that caller, coach?" You got Mr. Lemons. You got to give more than $2 for the Broner. But you are a member. You are a member. So since you are a member, I will do that. I will do that for you, my brother. Since you did request it. Shout out to Mr. Lemons. He wanted caller to get the Broner, and he shall.
Shut that soft ass shit up.
And the best man
Shut
to
that
win.
soft. That's some soft ass shit. Shut that soft ass shit up. All that soft talking. I know you can do it, man. You got to. Man, shut that soft ass shit up.
Yeah, man. I was wrong, guys. I was wrong. And one thing about me, and I learned this when I was in the nation. Caller, hold on. I learned this when I was in the nation. If you make a mistake in the public in front of everybody, then you have to correct the mistake in the public in front of everybody. If you wrong somebody or you in public, you have to correct that wrong in public. If you make a mistake in public on a public platform, you have to come back to that same public platform and apologize. So I apologize to all of those who I may have snapped on yesterday about that. I was wrong on that. Tank Davis ain't gonna fight none of those guys because he doesn't have to. And it is what it is. Call, what's the name of the caller from?
Guys, this is DJ out of Lone Star State, man.
DJ out of Texas. Talk to me.
What up, man? You remember I was just talking to you about that yesterday with Tank and them fighting the other dudes. Me personally, it's just the business of boxing that I thought is in the way. What I wanted to touch on, I know we moved past it already, but I don't know if it was me. It just saying like Timmy was kind of not taking up for Top Rank. That was me that had put in the super chat about the Crawford question. He said he don't know, but the man ain't going to go to detail. He going to, protect Crawford, protect Top Rank. But I really do think, it is, even though Bob is a legendary, legendary in the game, I really think it is some things over there on Top Rank end with making some of these fights that him and Al just don't get along, and that's why some of these fights will hold up. He didn't say, but I give Top Rank a little bit some of the blame too. But I just wanted to highlight your coach. That was me that put in the super chat trying to figure out what went wrong, because Crawford did leave for a reason. Whether what reason, we don't know. But the real reason. But he did leave for a reason.
Yeah, I can tell you. I can tell you that. The reason why he didn't re-sign with Top Rank because it was 2 fights that he was promised that he didn't get. He was promised the Manny Pacquiao fight. There was no reason was no reason why Manny Pacquiao fight should not have happened with Crawford, because Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford were both signed to Top Rank. So he was lied to about that. And Bob Arum came out and said that he admitted while Crawford was still signed to Top Rank, I am the reason why that fight didn't happen, because I didn't want Terence Crawford to hurt my friend Manny Pacquiao. So that pissed Crawford off. He held that in, and then he wasn't able to make the Errol Spence fight. Now, even though Errol Spence is on the other side of the street, but Al Heyman, they didn't want to make that fight. Al Heyman didn't want to make that fight. Bob Arum did try to make it, but Al Heyman didn't want it, and Spence didn't really want that fight. He stayed on his side of the street to fight those guys, and so that was the straw that broke the camel's back with Crawford. And and I'm not telling you anything I heard from a YouTube channel or sources say. I spoke to the brother personally, so it is what it is. So
appreciate it, coach. Shout out, man.
I'm just being honest with you, fam. Shout out to DJ from Texas. Texas, stand up. Shout out to Chad.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that quarter over. Bam.
Okay.
Dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Shout out to Reggie Owens in the building. Reds, what's going on, fam? He said, Coach, I'm tired of these bombs taking the easy matches, fighting other bombs just because they rich.
But this bomb is taking the easy matches, fighting other bombs.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But from what I heard, the Crawford, I told y'all the Crawford Spence fight has been done. From what I heard, I'm just waiting on an announcement. Whether when they're gonna announce it, I don't know, man. I really don't know when they're gonna announce it. And that's why I told you guys, don't be believing that shit about. Remember, we did a show last week, 2 weeks ago, and I say, man, don't be believing that shit about, man, they're gonna make an announcement on Tank Davis fight. I say, don't believe that, guys. You know what I mean? Don't be optimistic about that. Let's just take the wait and see approach. And as you can see, there was no announcement. So I don't know what's going on. I wasn't there, but I can only tell you what was told to me from the source. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Unbiased fan. Good afternoon, Coach.
Unbiased fan. Talk to me.
Congratulations, first and foremost. You hit 1.1K today. Well earned, man. That was a really good interview with Tim. Some people will say he's hating, with just voicing his opinion, and everybody has one. Everybody has the right to have one. I think a lot of what he was saying was really solidified.
Mm.
And yesterday you had me thinking optimistically, and now you done went back to the pessimistic lane with me, man. Damn.
Yeah. I was optimistic, but nah. Again, you got to understand. But I also said this as well. Leonard Ellaby, Floyd Mayweather, what they're going to do, they're going to say Tank Davis is the face of boxing. Remember, I told you it was an information war. So everybody's pushing their narrative. So, and I think it's good that Tank Davis is a big star and Canelo's a big star, and I want to see Shakur be a big star and Devin Haney. I want to see all of these guys because I think it's overall good for the sport of boxing. So I really want to see this happen. But the fact of the matter is, it's going to be a bunch of A side, B side. Tank is the star. He can fight anybody. And now that I think about it, again, Tank Davis can fight this pin right now in Las Vegas. What they're going to say is he sold out in New York. He sold out in Atlanta. He sold out in D.C. He sold out in Vegas. Everywhere, in L.A. and in Vegas. Everywhere he goes, he's box office. He sells out. You get what I'm saying? That's what they're going to say. So, and that's it. That's it. You know what I mean?
But you know what, Coach, though? The pay-per-view numbers won't reflect that. It's about your dance partner, too. Again, like I was saying yesterday, the cash cow, a.k.a. face of boxing, he will generate no matter who it is. He'll make the other fighter the highest payday. Until the Ryan Garcia fight, Tank hadn't done that. Tank is in position to become the face of boxing. Well, I'm going to keep it a bean. He's in position to. But if they going around and do a Pitbull, Cruz, and Rolly rematch, those numbers are not going to translate the same. Because I'm sure not going to pay for it. I paid for this Ryan and Tank fight. I'm not paying for that fight. I don't want to. That's not a fight I want to see. They're not getting my money for that. I want to see him fight the best because I believe he can beat these guys. I believe he can lose to them too, and that's the problem. It's always these safe bets, this low risk, high rewards type of movement, and that's not how you create the cash cow of boxing. That's not how you create, the next level. They got them this far. Go ahead and make that next step. Don't be afraid. Go for it. I don't think Tank's afraid, so get him in the ring. I don't want to see him versus these guys he didn't already beat. He beat Cruz with one hand. He knocked Rolly out. I don't want to see that fight. No, thank you. I'm good. I want to see him fight the best because he's one of the best. Hands down. Tank's one of the best. He's a great fighter. Let him prove it. Please. Pretty please.
All right. Well, shout out to Unbiased Fan. Salute, fam. Salute. Give him a round of applause. Caller, hold on. Terence Crawford said Tank making $30-40 million last Saturday makes him soft. Sir, Terence, who told you that? Who told you Tank is making $30-40 million his last fight? Who told you that? Do you have any receipts on that? Pretty sure you don't. Pretty sure you don't. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
James Lee, Coach. How you doing, my guy?
James Lee, talk to me, fam. This is Tank Davis's cousin, James Lee from B-More. Talk to me, my brother.
Hey, Coach. In a small spectrum that is us in us boxing enthusiasts, right? Us true hardcore fans. Man, I appreciate the two guys giving us a fight, two undefeated guys who we thought that both of them was on the upper echelon, but it's come to be that only one of them was. I sit back and laugh, man, because I sit back and laugh at the people that call, because the majority of the fans that are on your platform that come to your show, I'm gonna say 85% are the hardcore fans, right? I just laugh at how people say, man, I'm not gonna spend my money. Man, it don't matter if you don't spend your money or not. It's a million other people that's out here that's gonna spend their money.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So we can agree to disagree. Man, the world changes, bro. And people don't wanna accept change. Boxing has to grow away from just the hardcore fans, because the hardcore fans aren't the ones that are spending all of the money. And that's what Leonard and check this out, Coach. I don't want nobody to think for no shape. I want Tank to fight all of these guys, man. I want him to fight every last one of them. But we can't argue with the method.
I know
if it's happening.
Hey, James Lee, I know you do. You one of the first people who said that you wanted to see your cousin fight these guys because you know he'll smoke them. You one of the first people who said that. You've been consistent with that.
I want to,
you've been consistent
fight,
with
that. I'm not going not just like I'm gonna go buy Devin Haney fight. And you know why? I'm gonna buy it 2 times, Coach. You know why? Because the only way that we'll get that fight is the only way we can get that fight is if we can sell Devin's fight.
Right.
That's the only way that they're going to fight Devin Haney, Coach, is if he can go out there and prove that he can sell himself.
Yeah.
It's money, man. Tim just sat there and told us, bro, nobody's going out here to give away money.
Yeah. He said
the promoter's not going out here paying for these venues, paying for these spots if the money don't generate so everybody can eat. So look, this is what we can do as fans. And as all these YouTube channels that's out here, because I like all of y'all. We got to push for people to buy Devin Lomachenko fight.
Right.
I don't care if they say he's born. I don't care if they say Lomachenko don't sell. Let's buy this fight. And the fight's so cheap, let's buy it twice.
Right. Let's buy
it twice.
Yeah. James
let's buy it twice so we can get this fight so we can get them to give him that fight. That's what I want.
You've been consistent.
They got the money now.
James,
the money is there now.
You've been consistent.
Thanks, Coach.
You've been James Lee. This is Tank Davis' cousin. He's been consistent, fam. I'm not gonna lie. He's been saying that from day one. So salute to my brother, man, James Lee, man. Much love to you, my brother. Shout out to James Lee. So it is what it is, man. So we got to support these fighters. Well, I'm not gonna tell anybody what to do, but you know, whatever you think is the value of your dollar is worth, you get the fights you want, then so be it. There's nothing wrong with that. Carla, hold on. Shout out to Andre. Dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. He said, cheers for all of the hard work that you do. He said, you are doing for our sweet science, coach. He said, salute from the Southwest of Europe. I appreciate you, fam. Another thing too, any content creator, whether I like you or don't like you, meaning if you're a fagnon, if you're a Shigo, if you are Alphabet Boys, any of you other channels out there, the nigga in the wheelchair, any of you guys who don't like me that I don't fuck with, if y'all want to use this content today, you can use it. Because I don't trip on that. You can use it however you want to use it. Don't make me no never mind. Just make sure you give me my credit. Make sure you let it be known this where you got it from. Other than that, you can use it. I don't trip on that. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Y'all got my permission.
It's your boy Q City World calling from Atlanta, Georgia right now. That's where I'm at right now. Check it out, dog.
2 City World calling from Atlanta, Georgia. Talk to me.
Yeah, Q City World. Hey man, check it out. At the end of the day, what kind of boxing fans do we got nowadays? They're not boxing fans. They're boxing another F word. You know what I mean? They're not boxing fans. They boxing another F word. Get it?
Yeah, I got you.
At the end of the day, dog, you loving Earl Spence. You loving Tank Davis. I mean, they getting money. What do that help you? I mean, as a boxing fan, I mean, what do that help you? They getting money. Y'all need to get the fight y'all want to see. Y'all saying them fight all these lame ass fights. You feel me? You got to watch him 5 years before he makes a good fight against Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean? Dude been fighting. You want to see the best fight the best in boxing. And I know as a boxer, you don't want to go out there and wear yourself out fighting them with the best competition. But it's been long enough. You've been watching these boys fight each other long enough. You dig what I'm saying? Fighting all these bullshit ass fights. Now it's time to get in there and fight, Tank. And everybody be justifying that shit. I see it go on a lot with Canelo. Everybody like, well, Canelo can do whatever the hell. Even you be saying that shit, coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Canelo can do whatever he want to do. This Canelo, man, Canelo ain't shit. He got to go out there and fight, bro. He's supposed to be the face of boxing, bro. He ain't even fighting nobody.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean? He's the face of boxing, but you got to represent.
Yeah.
You got to have. And dude just called in and said that that boxing hardcore fans ain't important. Hardcore fans is the one that get the casual fans to watch the fight, bro. You feel what I'm saying? They're the one that get people to come in and watch the fight.
Yeah. And I get what you're saying. I get what he's saying. Let me break it down. So the hardcore fans, what they're saying is, like, we are the foundations of the sport of boxing. The hardcore fans are the ones who keeping it alive. We the ones who talk about it every day. And then the casuals is a lot of stuff that they don't know. But then we have a new breed called the social media boxing fans. They don't know nothing about boxing. So they get caught up in the wave, the highlight. They get caught up in the highlight reel. They'll see a Ryan Garcia do the body shot challenge, and they'll be like, "Oh, you see the way he hit that dude just standing there? Oh man, they get excited about that and think this guy can beat another guy." And they'll think that this guy can beat Tank because he's a bigger fighter and stuff like that. They don't know the fundamentals, the footwork, the ring IQ, the distance, the range, how to parry, how to block, how to slip and counter. They don't know nothing about that. So, those are the social media guys, right? They get caught up in that. So, what he was saying was, with the Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia fight, they targeted a new demographic. They targeted the TikTokers. They targeted the Instagrammers. They targeted the YouTubers. And guess what? I mean, and it worked. It worked to perfection. So that's what he's saying. He's saying it's a new day now as related to that. And I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. I'm an old school boxing fan, but I totally agree. But that model will only work with Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean? Now, if Tank have another fight and he go pay-per-view, I can promise you he ain't gonna do nowhere near that. He ain't gonna do nowhere near that. He'll do good at the game.
It worked.
Yeah,
it worked one or two times. It ain't gonna be longevity though. It ain't gonna be longevity.
Yeah.
Hold on, cuz. Hold on. It ain't gonna be longevity for the sport.
Right.
The sport gonna fall off eventually if you keep watering it down with this bullshit. You dig what I'm saying? Even the Ryan Garcia fight, for a real hardcore fan, we don't even take that fight serious. You feel me? You right, the casuals made him some money. So who give a care about this man making money? I never care. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I never cared about Floyd Mayweather money.
Yeah.
Floyd gonna get his money.
Yeah.
You feel me? But I want to see Floyd out there against Pacquiao. You dig what I'm saying? I'm a Deontay Wilder fan, but I want to see Deontay Wilder out there against Tyson Fury. I want to see him out there against AJ. What kind of fans be like, man, Deontay Wilder can fight anybody, man? He did it already. He can do anything.
No. Let me. Hold on.
And that's what these boxers be listening to. They be having these groupie ass fans that be like, man, whatever you do, man, you the best. Nah, nigga, whatever you do, he ain't the best. You gotta prove he the best. It's a sport. It's a tournament. It's a champion. It's one champion in each division. You should want to be the only champion in that division. If you don't want to be the only champion in that division, bro, what the fuck is you doing, coach?
I totally
agree. What I'm saying?
I totally agree.
That's all I gotta say, coach.
Shout out to Truth. Shout out to Truth City World. I understand exactly where he's coming from. I understand his frustration. Let me clarify, because he said I even said on my show. Shout out to Justin Watson for dropping that $2 Cash App. He said, wonderful interview, coach. Shout out to Tim. Yeah, salute to you, fam. Thank you, Justin. I don't agree with this shit. I don't agree with Tank can do whatever he want to do, fight this pen, and it'll sell out, and Canelo can do what he want to do and fight this mouse, and it'll sell out. I don't agree with that. But I'm just acknowledging that those guys are in the position that they can do whatever they want to do. Even though I don't agree with it and I don't like it, but that doesn't change the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is they can do whatever they want to do, just like what Floyd Mayweather did, just like what Oscar De La Hoya did. And that's what you see that these guys are doing now. Do I agree with it? No, but it is what it is. That's just the reality of the situation, fam. And it has nothing to do with my feelings, Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Smitty from Columbus. What's going on?
What's your name?
Smitty from Columbus.
Smitty from Columbus. Talk to me.
What's going on, man? First, I want to say, man, that interview, man, you know, sometimes Tim Bradley does come off as a hater, but I feel like he did a good job of humanizing him, man. Like, as far as, like, he answered a lot of questions. So he did a great job with that. I just wanted to talk about that. Also, man, last time I talked to you, I don't know what was going on with my phone, but, like, Rick Glacier, I thought Rick Glacier, when he was talking about who's the face of boxing, I feel like he's kind of not in tune with the culture, man. As far as, like, I mean, I'm in Columbus right now. I'm from LA, and like the whole like city was buzzing because of that whole Tank fight. So I do think he's probably like right now either number 1 or number 2 when it comes to like the face of boxing. But I do want to ask you this. I know just going back to Mayweather, a lot of the guys he fought had like somewhat followings and names themselves. So do you think like maybe Haney and Shakur have to do like a better job of maybe getting their name out there to kind of force Tank to fight him?
I don't feel like they should force Tank to fight him. I think that because Tank says he's the best fighter, he's the face of boxing, I think the competition aspect of it, he should want to fight those guys to prove his dominance. You know, and I think that's what changed. What changed with yesterday's boxing and today's boxing, you had fighters who were champions and just fighters who were top dogs. They wanted to prove, you know, they were the best by establishing their dominance in the sport. How do you do that? You dominate your weight division. So he should want to do that. The thing is the way things are now, things have changed. You have fighters, once they prove that they are a proven commodity from a draw standpoint, now it changes things. So now that Tank has proven he's a draw, now, you know, the competition aspect of it is gone. Because combat sports is about the competition. You're going to make the money. We know you're going to make the money. I'm not going to get any of the money. I should not be a fan and say, yeah, man, you know, Tank, my fighter, you see how much money he made? My fighter driving Lambos with suicide doors. Nigga, what the fuck that got to do with you? If Tank is driving Lambos with suicide doors, living in mansions, and he got ice on his earrings, what the hell I got to do with you? Nothing. You still broke in the projects, sitting on your baby mama rental center furniture, Section 8 house, smoking on the Knicks hat, drinking the kids' juicy juices, drinking the Kool-Aid, drinking the milk, and eating all the cereal. That doesn't change the reality of your situation. So as it relates to the sport of boxing, what makes us love it, we want to see the competition aspect of it because we don't get none of the money anyways. But that is not what's going on right now. We have a different group of fans that's watch boxing right now, and they caught up in everything but the fights. And that's what's pushing the narrative. And that's who the Leonard Ellabys, the Floyd Mayweathers, the PBCs, that's who they are marketing. And therein lies the problem. It kind of grazed the lines, you know?
Nah, I agree, man. I definitely agree. I definitely want to see the best fight the best. Yeah. But like, I guess, I guess when you don't have a name, you can kind of hide behind that. Yeah. As far as like not fighting people because of that. But thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, shout out to Smitty, man, for Columbus, man. Salute, fam. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. I'm just being honest with you. That's just the reality of the situation, and that's what James Lee is talking about. You know, right now it's a different ball game now as it relates to a fan base. But one thing about me, Coach Malachi Williams, and blood boxing and boxing gyms, I'm gonna hold the line. I have an old school box. I have a boxing criteria. I'm gonna hold the line. I don't give a damn what they say. I don't conform to casuals and social media boxing fans. I'm gonna hold the line. You know, and that's what I'm gonna do. We got to go with what the casuals and the social media boxing fans say. I don't give a damn about what they say. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Ken from New York.
Champ from New York. Talk to me.
Three things I was going to talk about. The guy that was talking about Duran and Sugar Ray and Hagler and Sugar Ray. I think he's bugging. Sugar Ray and Hagler was big at that time, and Backfires was big at that time.
Yeah.
The market has changed a little bit more to the Mexican fighters to today. So talking about then and now are two different things. I don't think Mike Tyson was for the Mexican fight, if I can remember correctly. You know what I mean?
Right.
Number two, what I wanted to talk about was I think what you call it, you got to sell some pay-per-view numbers to make these guys want to cross the street, basically. You know what I'm saying? You got to do something on that pay-per-view side to make these guys even want to entertain cross the street and fight him. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that pay-per-view does good. And the third thing is, I think, what do you think about ESPN? They never really know how to push the black fighters. They kind of they're kind of now saying Lomachenko's old. They take away everything Haney going to do if Haney beat him. They're like, Lomachenko's old, Lomachenko's washed up. When Crawford was there, it was all about Lomo. You know what I'm saying? Never time on ESPN, all these, I wasn't going to say Top Rank, ESPN, that the number one fighter was a black fighter. I don't think Crawford was never number one, and neither is Haney. Now it's you know where the Japanese guy's number one. So they have a problem pushing black fighters. Yeah, he's number one. Why come Haney ain't number one? I mean, when Haney was fighting, they didn't even mention Haney until he got over the Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? So Top Rank got to learn to push black fighters, and I think if they start pushing these guys and know how to push these guys, everybody gonna be want these fights to happen. But until they really start pushing their fighters on the black side on it, Haney's gonna be stuck over there. Keyshawn Davis gonna be stuck, and Shakur Stevenson kind of got a nice little push. You know what I'm saying? They find a way to push him, but the rest is just not unheard of. So Top Rank got to do a better job pushing their black fighters.
Hey man, shout out to Champ, man. You know I'm gonna piggyback off of that. Shout out to Champ, man, from New York. You know what? He hit the nail right on the head. This what I'm gonna do. This is my advice to all of you fighters that's out there. If you are a fighter and you are signed to a promotional company, study the content creators. You have to understand. Bob Arum is not going to promote you guys. Bob Arum is going to give you black fighters the platform to fight on. It's going to be up to the Devin Haneys, the Shakur Stevensons, the Keyshawn Davises, the Jahi Tuckers. It's going to be up to you guys to promote and market yourself. I want to say this to every fighter who may watch this podcast. Your ass better learn marketing. You better learn marketing. You better learn SEO, search engine optimization. You better learn this. You get what I'm saying? You better get your marketing team, and you better get your mouthpiece like somebody like me. You get what I'm saying? Pound for pound, I don't care what no nigga say. I stand up to anybody. But pound for pound, I'm one of the best mouthpieces when it comes to promoting boxing. I'm pound for pound, I'm up there. I'm up there. You better get you somebody who can speak and be your media guy. You get what I'm saying on social media. Get somebody like me. And get somebody who understands how to market, who understands thumbnails, who understands how to promote, who understands how to market and advertise and target you on all many different social media platforms, because these promotional companies are not marketing you. PBC got one fighter. They got Tank Davis that is working for. Outside of Tank, maybe Arrow and other guys, y'all better know how to promote yourself. Those old days of just sitting down and letting the promoter do the work, those days are over. And if you don't learn that, you're going to be that bitter black fighter. Man, messed up, man. Ain't nobody, man, don't nobody respect me, dog. No, ain't nobody, I can't sell no tickets. And man, ain't nobody really checking for me like that. I ain't getting no respect. That's because you sitting down on your ass, waiting on Bob Arum to promote you. Bob Arum, 90-something years old, dog. His promotion days is over with. He just going to give you the platform to be able to fight on, but you better get out there, do them interviews, then get out there and talk, or get a social media team who know how to put you out there. That's my advice to you. That's my advice to you fighters, especially to you black fighters. That's all. Take it or leave it alone. Take it or leave it alone. I don't care if you give me the interview or not. It doesn't matter to me, but you better take my advice. That's all I got to say.
True.
That's all I got to say, man. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Because I'm going to tell Devin Haney this, and I'm going to tell Lomachenko this. I'm going to do my job over here to promote y'all. I'm going to promote y'all fight. You get what I'm saying? But this is the last call. This is the last one. I ain't taking no more calls. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, what's up? It's Glenn. I'm here in Houston.
Glenn in Houston, talk to me.
Yo, Coach, yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying as far as, promoting and self-promotion. If you notice with Tank, he really doesn't self-promote himself as much. Initially, I thought so. Just having the name Mayweather behind you gives you a boost. Someone like Tank, just having Mayweather associated with him, like for example, E. Smith or Ishii Smith, whoever that one guy that
Ishii Smith,
yeah, he was a bum, but because he signed a Mayweather, I was like, I was trying to tune in, giving him a chance just because he was associated with Mayweather. Mayweather could be a great promoter, but he's just not finding the talent. But as far as Tank goes, if you notice, they're starting to. It does feel like they don't really trust. I mean, I kind of feel like what Oscar said. He was just hating, but at the same time, kind of true. Like, why are they looking for a rematch with Pitbull? Why are they looking for, Teofimo Lopez, a guy that said he didn't believe in himself, got caught on camera saying that right after his last fight? It's like, why don't they give him the big thing,
Okay. Hey, listen, man. Thank you for calling the show. I got to take my son to karate, man. I'm going to wrap it up. Salute to Glenn from
no
Salute,
problem, man.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
See, I like what James Lee said. James Lee said that he gonna support Devin Haney because James Lee is a hardcore boxing fan and he understands the importance of us getting behind our fighters and pushing the sport. You get what I'm saying? He understands the importance of that. Just about all of us content creators, whether I like you or not, don't make me never mind whether you like me or not. I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? I ain't loaded for no friendship. But James Lee is right though. I'm gonna do my job to push it. I know Blood Boxing gonna do his job to push it, and other content creators gonna do their job to push it, and everybody on YouTube and Twitter and stuff gonna do their job to push it. That at the end of the day, that's all we can do. But you fighters, you fighters today, how are you in the technological age in 2023 and y'all still sitting there? I'm gonna just sit back and wait and see, man. See my promoter, see what he gonna do in 2023. Y'all better take a page out of Ryan Garcia's book. I'm not saying do what Ryan Garcia do, but y'all got to tighten up, man. Y'all got to tighten up, bro. Y'all got to tighten up. You know what I mean? I'm telling you some real stuff because you're gonna be them same niggas running around complaining, man. Man, man, they ain't, Tank that guy. Yeah, Tank that guy. He hit lightning in a bottle. Everybody can't be Tank. So you got to be the best version of you. You get what I'm saying? And I advise y'all to come on this show. I'm telling you now, y'all better hit up Coach Malachi Williams now. I'm trying to tell you now, y'all better hit the old boy up now. Hit up Blood Boxing and hit up these other guys, Boxing Gyms and Ring IQ and Boxing Wave and all that stuff there, man. Now that's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Let's give everybody a round of applause one more again. As for Ryan Garcia, I guess you're going to go back to TikTok.
Well, I actually do cuss a little.
Do you?
Also, yeah.
What's your favorite curse word?
Probably fuck.
It is what it is, man. And you know what? It is what it is, man. Guess what? When them South suckers talking about pulling up, this what you got to tell them.
Fuck you all rolling up on full cuz. Huh? He must don't know. He can't know. Huh? He can't know.
It is what it is. Shout out to Jamel Charlo.
Fucking with me, you gonna get knocked the fuck out. I'm a knockout artist, baby.
Hey man, be more. What that dance called? Be more the Park Heights. What it's called, the Park Heights. I was watching some videos on that. I'm trying to learn that dance right now, boy. Be more, y'all got a fire dance, boy. I'm talking about, oh Lord, have mercy, boy. Woo, Lord, boy, I love that dance right there, boy. I say, boy, I got to learn that. I'm over here trying to learn. Hey, what that dance called? To be more the Park Heights. What is it called? The Park Heights dance or something? What is it called? What it's called? Boy, y'all got some swag over there, boy. Be more, boy. I ain't gonna sit here a lot. Oh yeah, the Park Heights strut. Yeah, the Park Heights strut. Whoa! Hey, James Lee, boy, that Park Heights strut, serious, boy. I ain't seen nothing like that since Michael Jackson, boy.
Turn around.
No, Vasily Lomachenko is the greatest fighter. Instead of saying, if I meet Bob Bam, this is what I want to tell him. Instead of you saying that Vasily Lomachenko is better than Ali, he's the greatest fighter since Ali, say that he's the greatest fighter since Rocky Marciano. Compare him to his own kind.
What about Rocky Marciano?
Oh, there they go. There they go. Every time I start talking about boxing, a white man got to pull Rocky Marciano out their ass. That's the one. That's the one. Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano. Let me tell you something wonderful. Rocky Marciano was good, but compared to Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano ain't shit.
He beat Joe Louis's ass.
Shout out to my dog, Booger Ray. Booger Ray, little man, much love to you, Booger Ray. I knew I went off on you last week. I apologize. I was just coming down off my weed high, you know what I mean? But I'm back. I apologize, Booger Ray. I hope y'all give me the check on the back end.
Make it last. Make it last forever. Don't let I love you.
And to the haters who don't like us, remember this.
Don't ever come by here. Okay?
Shout out to the hood, man. Shout out to the hood.
I want to thank the whole hood who came out here. I love y'all. I did this for the hood. Y'all know I beat that boy.
It is what it is, man. Some of you South suckers want to ask me, when you went out there in LA and you spoke to Joe Goose, what exactly did he tell you? There's certain things off the record that I cannot say, so I'm going to have to plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything you say, 5. Go ahead, ask me a question. Did you? 5.
You niggas ain't gotta like it to the haters. Guess what? You better respect it.
Nigga, when my name come up, respect it. Let's go. Stop playing with my fucking name. All 3 of y'all, stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more. Put some respect on my name.
Don't you ever forget who brought you back to big time boxing.
Don't ever forget. When I found you, you was strung out on coke. When I found you, you was like a big house, contemplating about killing yourself. So don't you ever forget who brought you to big time boxing. I drugged you back. I brought you back. I provided food and put food on your table for your family to eat. And I'm doing it for the second time. So don't you ever forget that.
And well, you know, before we go, we gotta say all praises due to the most high, the most exalted Mr. Al Heyman. I don't know what he looked like, but all praises due to you, Al.
Well, you know, I guess I gotta be like everybody else and saying Al Heyman. I can quit my job now, baby. 6 figures, baby. You feel me? I'm about to
But a name. Do you have a name?
Oh, nah, I ain't got no name, you know.
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. Them names need to be named.
They know who they is.
The Mexican monster.
Yeah, shout out to JRG. For dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. He said now that Tank is the face of boxing, he has to check that dead. He said he has to check that dead row contract. Dead row? I guess you're trying to say death row contract. I get what you're saying. Yeah, salute to you, fam. It is what it is, man. And you know what, man? In order for us to bring boxing, put it back on the map like what James Lee is saying, and take it to heavenly heights, we're gonna have to collectivize.
Now, I run every kind of bitch, every kind of place, and I know one thing. When it comes down on you, you either collectivize or you run like a solitary rat.
Y'all, I told y'all, say that phone number, 530-494-9636. You can reach me. If you the ops, I drop that number on Twitter. Guess what? I would not lose.
Put your soul in ether. Teach you the king, you know you. Godson across the belly. I prove you lost already.
I would ether your ass. Once again, it's on. It's that boy, Coach Malachi Williams, signing out. To the haters who didn't want to hit the like button, man, Riley, talk to him.
Fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them shoes. Fuck the socks with the bell on it. Fuck them cheap-ass cigars. Fuck your yuck mouth teeth. Fuck your hairpiece. Fuck your chocolate. Fuck Guy Ritchie. Fuck Prince William. Fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out of my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
You know, we did the Be More dance. We're going to do the Be More dance.
Turn around.
And since Devin Haney is fighting Vasily Lomachenko, you know we got to do the Devin Haney dance. This here for the time. You know it is, man. Once again, it's songs I brought Coach Malachi Williams signing out. TRUMediaTodayUSA boxing. You know what? It's only right that I do this, man. For all the Tenderonis out there, this is a Tenderoni support system. This is a Tenderoni support channel. We love the Tenderonis. Tenderonis, this is when it comes to this boxing shit, man. We Usain Bolt in this shit. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. Much love to everybody who support us. To all of the content creators who putting in the work. The ones I like that I rock with, you guys know who you are. The ones I don't like, who don't like me, you guys know who you are. But much love to everybody. It is what it is. I am a little rough around the edges. I talk the way I talk. And it is what it is. But I see you guys tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna have another banger tomorrow. You know my motto: don't meet me there, beat me there. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.